and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the main event. Presented by Cowboys Can Fan.
Only 9% of our subscribers are female, by the way. So not very many females out there watching the Can Fan, but I like that you hit on a little bit of everyone there for the main events.
Yeah, and
EW1.
you know what? If you are female out there and watching, go tell a friend or two. Get them on the Can Fanamaniac train.
And crack them if you got them, gentlemen.
Yes,
All that says to me, guys, is we're missing 50% of the fucking audience. Actually, a little bit more. Crack them if you got them.
I mean, I could see how we aren't very...
Crack me
if you got him. Yes, let's go. Main event, fellas.
Guys, just before, it's a little hot.
Oh, here he goes.
It's a little hot, so I got.
I was like, I in my mind, I was like, why wasn't he wearing any type of new merch?
Is this the Vape 10 shirt?
Oh yeah, dude. Need to get me one of those. The Vape 10.
Vape 10. AJ
Well,
Vape
those
10.
are available at the Cowboys Can Fan.
Not yet. I don't know. This is the thing. Is it a good design? I don't know. Should we put it up?
Well, here, this is the other design of it. Since we're going off script.
We're going off script. Well, Ad's getting that. We'll introduce our guest tonight, EJ Savage from Boys in the Zone. What the hell's going on, brother?
Man, it's been a while since I've done a podcast. Chilling. Ooh, that one's crispy.
That one is crispy.
That one seems like vintagey.
It is vintagey.
That is
Vintage
the
J?
That is the OG. All right, sorry.
Go.
Little derail.
Nah, it's been a while since I've been doing podcasts and stuff like that. I was on vacation, then I was sick as a dog with some whatever flu is going on here in the U.S. And yeah, so now I'm back. First show back, and I'm on my boys' shows.
Hell yeah.
Look, EJ, the tariffs are, so we don't want that cold coming up north here, okay? There's a tariff on that cold, baby.
Yeah, man, the trade war.
Anth has it too. Anth has
You know what? We're living
No!
proof that Americans and Canadians can get together. So crack them if you got them, boys.
Crack them if you got them.
It's good to have you, EJ.
And I'm drinking the Mexican beer, so that's
Perfect.
another
Hey, look at that.
facet to this thing, man.
That's just this is all of America right here.
North America.
North America,
repping.
yeah.
So, EJ, it is nice to have you on because it's draft season. We kind of faltered last year a little bit by not getting you on enough, so we really were trying to make it a point of having you on a bunch. We're doing mock drafts every Wednesday nights on the main event, and we needed to get our guy, the original Will McClay, for the Can Fan guys on with us. So
yes, sir.
We appreciate you making some time to hop on with us for sure.
And you better be coming correct with all that fucking college knowledge there, EJ.
College knowledge?
Yeah. No, you know what? I'm actually kind of pissed off at YouTube because they flagged some of my stuff, copyrighted it,
Really?
killed my motivation.
Yeah,
but I'm still into it. I'm still watching these boys.
Is it because you're clipping actual college stuff and tossing it on there? Or yeah, that happens.
I was and I was like, I whatever.
I don't like that.
I tried to fight it, but they're just in their ways. So
I don't like
it is.
because I see it should be under the guise of commentary.
Yeah,
I always think that.
fair rights.
We're not big enough
should
to
be
we're not
because
big
you're
enough.
talking over it and you're dissecting it and you're bringing
It's not
your
live.
own analysis. Yeah.
Some guys take a Marvel movie and we'll talk over plain clips. Now I don't know if those are only specific clips, but it just seems like a gray area. Sorry, AJ. I thought they flagged you because of all the foot jobs that you were giving online. But
FJ.
Must be that too. Maybe I need to check into that.
gotta check into the
wrong
rules.
platform. Wrong platform for Foot Jays, definitely.
Yes,
but no, it's great to have you on, man. And guys, for an off-season main event episode, there's a lot of shit that's been going on with the Cowboys this week.
Yeah, usually this stuff happens.
Especially today.
Yeah, usually this happens tomorrow. So we finish our midweek show, and then all the fucking news drops. So it's nice that the news is in the house, so that we can talk about it tonight.
What's nice about it is is it a change in the air that Cowboys are dropping news pre Can Fan main event? I don't know. Are we on Jerry's radar? Who knows?
On his news cycle.
Jerry might have a Vape 10 shirt.
Oh man, that'd be fucking epic if Jerry had a
He
vape.
pulls up to the press conference with one on.
I imagine that Jerry Jones has been vaped 10 in, well, maybe not vape 10, but salted up. Sodium 101.
I also imagine he's got a Foot J or two in his day.
Oh, he's a Hundo P got a Foot J in his day.
I'm waiting for the illegitimate daughter to come and take the reins.
Yeah.
Screw Steven. Come on.
What ended up happening? I mean, this is going a little off topic. What ended up happening with that? Did they just settle outside of court? I think maybe that's what happened.
No, I think they're still.
Some type of settlement.
I thought they settled.
I think they did, but I think that it still can come back in.
They didn't just say, "Hey, here's 20 million, just leave."
Possibly.
Because 20 million for Jerry Jones that's really just not much money at all.
She signed that NDA, something like that.
Yeah, and then just swept under the rug. But that's nor here or there. What do we got going on?
Before we even get going, what's going on? We already got a run in a $4.99 super chat in the house from Swag Official 113 says, "What's your opinion on DK Metcalf? ? Should Dallas trade for him?"
Ooh, we'll let EJ. EJ, would you trade for DK Metcalf if you had the ability to?
I asked a question on my Twitter, which boys in the zone on Twitter or X, whatever. If you want to follow me, that's the letter N, not IN. I asked the question: would you rather trade for DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, sign Devontae Adams, or draft a wide receiver with the first round pick? And a lot of people came back with the trade for DK Metcalf. He's a legitimate X wide receiver. He allows CeeDee Lamb to work as that Z, work in that slot. He's a guy that is good again on the boundary. He can outrun players. He's physical. He's one of those guys that are can win with his route running as well. He's an underrated route runner now. A lot of people don't think that he's a good route runner, but he legitimately is. So as far as trading for him, it would depend upon the compensation we'd send back to Seattle. But like a third rounder, absolutely I would.
Yeah, third round. I think that'd be nice because, like all the reasons you just mentioned, you're more than likely going to get a guy that can step in right away. Whereas if you're going to draft a receiver in the third round, you still don't necessarily know what you're going to get when they get into the NFL, right? I think if you could get DK Metcalf for a third round draft pick, like this year's third round, I'd like to say 2026 just because. But if you could get him even for this year for a third round. And then you'd have to maybe shake and move to try to get into the fourth, just so that you have some picks. But I would love to get DK Metcalf.
Where does Seattle pick in the draft? Because if it's like 18, yeah, I would be willing to go like pick swap too,
right,
with the first round, and then throw in a fifth or something like that if they were interested in that.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good idea because we've messed around a little bit with the drafts, and moving back to 18, you're still going to get a pretty decent player. And DK Metcalf immediately upgrades this offense. Like now you have legitimate two weapons at wide receiver.
Brent Packer guys saying the Seahawks want a first, another pick, and a player.
That's fucked.
And not a third. So
that's fucked.
They're not getting a first for him, in my opinion.
No, I agree.
I believe they'll command a second from someone. The thing is, you need to basically trade and then sign him. If I'm reading this correctly, he has almost $32 million cap hit this season. So, but he's got 1 year left, so it's super likely that whoever trades for him will be able to sign him for an extension. Yeah,
sign in and extend.
But still, I would say he's probably going to end up in the realm of the 25 million, give or take 3 million, after you do it. So,
But if that was your plan, like let's say you trade for him and then you want to extend him. You could get 2 more years and bring down his current cap number, spreading it across the 3 years too. Yeah. So it's not like you have to be, pigeonholed into that 32 million this year.
Yeah, I would take it. I would take it. What was out of the things you had? Sorry, AJ.
It's sign Adams, trade for Kupp, trade for DK, draft a first round.
What was you said the consensus was draft for DK. What was the second? Draft a wide receiver?
There wasn't actually a lot of people saying that. Lockett's another guy. I see Lockett as more of a Brandon Cooks replacement. He's not going to be a guy that you legitimately believe is going to be your number 2 for a long time. So he's a guy that can come in and play that Brandon Cooks role. That's why I really didn't add him there. Another guy would be Chris Godwin of the Bucks, who's coming off that injury. He would be, possible to sign, but it seemed like a lot of people said the trade for DK and then surprisingly sign Adams. A lot of people said, but Adams has been on record saying that he really wants to play with A-Rod. So
yeah, for the Giants. Get ready, get ready to welcome A-Rod and Devontae Adams to the NFC East.
It
just won't be for the Cowboys.
For me, it goes in the order of it really depends if you can trade DK for. I don't think Cowboys should trade because they don't have enough capital to do it in this draft without that 4th round pick. Trading a 3rd for him really means then you're not getting.
You don't have to use a pick on a wide receiver though, as long as you extend DK.
That's what I mean. No. Like DK Metcalf's better than any 3rd round player, graded player.
Mm-hmm.
But I doubt that someone. We do have a high 3rd, so that would be the only thing. But I think that probably someone is going to offer a 2nd for him, or something more than the Cowboys will play.
Would you, AJ? Would you do the scenario I had prior, which was you pick swap, so they pick at 12, you pick the 18 spot, and then you give them one of your 5th round comp picks.
Like you move back to 18 from your 12th.
Ooh, fuck, that's really good.
I like it.
I say yeah, because then it frees up your 2nd and 3rd. If your plan was so you're giving up the chance of getting Gente. Let's just say that's what you're giving up, even though
I think Gente is going to be gone. But then this also adds like Omarian Hampton. He's a 1st round grade for me. And I really like the kid. At 12, it's steep though. At 18, it's a little bit more palatable.
We just took do it. Our last draft, we drafted Omarian Hampton at 16. We traded back to 16 and took him at 16. So that's what I mean. Like at 18, you're still able to kind of do what you want to do, but you're picking up your 1 or your 1B or 1A, whatever you want to call it for your wide receiver. Because now imagine CeeDee Lamb and DK Metcalf on the field at the same time.
Oh,
it's terrifying.
Dude, Jenkins Gaming says take Golden 2. Imagine Golden Lamb and DK on the same squad. At that point, you probably wouldn't.
At that point, I think we got an embarrassment of riches, but you can't say no.
At that point, I don't think you would draft a wide receiver in the 1st.
Hey, fucking YOLO, Brolo. Why the hell not? Do it. I like it. Bring Golden down here. Let's go.
Some people say they like to have 2 wide receiver number 1s on the team. We like to have 3 wide receiver number 1s on the team.
Sorry,
EJ and I are both dying.
Yeah. The thing is with Brian Schottenheimer and in his prior coaching stint with Seattle, he's going to be wanting to run the ball.
Yep.
Now you trade for DK, a player that Brian Schottenheimer has a past with as well. Well, maybe not. He might have been
just missed
prior. Yeah, just missed. But Tyler Lockett that brings in if you want to sign him because I know he was there. Regardless.
Well, and Lockett's also released, so they could pick Lockett.
Yeah.
They could potentially pick Lockett up in free agency.
Yeah, and like I said, he has some ties with Shoddy in the past as well. But you see what your division rival did in Philadelphia, taking a player like Saquon Barkley, adding him to their already very talented roster and putting them over the top, leaning on him and understanding what you have in your quarterback. I'm not saying that Dak Prescott isn't better than Jalen Hurts or the other way around, whatever it is, but I think that he plays better when his running game is good.
Yes.
And so with that knowledge, you have to accept, like, if you did trade for DK for the 3rd or the pick swap or whatever it is, you're probably not going to double dip and get another wide receiver. It's probably going to be Jalen Tolbert taking that step again, or hoping that he takes that step. You got Jonathan Mingo. You got to figure out what happens with him. You use the tender on Kevontae Turpin. If somebody picks him up, you get another 2nd round pick. So it's one of those things. I really think the Cowboys are going to hammer a running back early, 1st round, 2nd round. I'd be surprised if it's 3rd round, but I really do believe 2nd round is that sweet spot for them.
I would so the complaint I think that you'd hear in that trade scenario would be you're passing on Giante, blah blah blah. Okay. But like I agree with you. I think he's going to be drafted potentially by San Francisco right before us anyways. Yeah. But you're
Raiders,
right.
Chicago.
He's probably going to sneak into that top 10. Here's the problem. Right now, yeah, the picks are valuable. As someone's and it'd be, if you're going to do that trade, I'd say you need to do it now so that you can
plan for everything else.
Plan for him, sign. Otherwise, it's going to be a really limit. If you're planning to do that potentially in Seattle, it's a big miss on the draft. Big miss if the Cowboys don't, because they got to reserve so much cap. Or maybe they'd be able to make that work afterwards and sign them, whatever. But doing it now would just help navigate things. But that 12th pick, like if there's a couple guys who jump up on the depth that are a little bit surprising, that 12th pick could really increase in value. So if you're trading, they might have to they might not take the 5th. You might be able to
just do it straight up.
Just do it straight up, potentially a pick swap for DK if there's a guy there that they really want and they're not going to wait another pick or two. Right. So I don't know. Do you want to play that game of
Shadur's slides?
Yeah.
And just sitting there at 12, maybe they're thinking they jump up.
You can get a king's ransom. I really do believe we're going to see a lot of trench players early on in this draft. And that's you always talk about this copycat league. And what does the Eagles draft? Trench players, defensive linemen, offensive linemen. The league as a whole sees that, and they saw what they built, and they saw the downfall of what the Chiefs were with not being able to protect Patrick Mahomes. So they're going to probably want to reach on these guys a little bit, which pushes down these skill players to the Cowboys. I don't believe that Shadur is going to drop that far. I think he's probably a top 4 pick. Cam Ward, I believe the same thing. So those are your 2 big quarterback names. But regardless, there's going to be a. What did you say?
Sorry, do you think Darts might sneak up there in the number 2? No,
I don't think that Dart's going to be in that range. I think that he could possibly sneak into the first round. I don't see him as that. But if a team feels, they look at, like, let's say, I can't even think of a team off the top, but a team that, let's say, has a same situation as the Chiefs had whenever they picked Patrick Mahomes and they had Alex Smith. They're looking for their future guy, and they're ready to wait in the wings, but they want to have that 5th-year option. Yeah, they want to have that 5th-year option though. So he could sneak into that first round, but legitimately, I don't see. I see the 2 top guys, Cam and Shadur, being at the top, and then hopefully you can get like a guy like Ted McMillan to drop down into the Cowboys range. If he's there, I would take him absolutely. But there's some good defensive tackles in this class. There's some underrated offensive tackles and that could slide into guard. But that comes with clearing some injury stuff in their past. We got to see what happens with Abdul Carter and his injury. So many questions that are going to be answered further on we get down the line.
Well, we're going to get into some draft talk. What you were going to do some chat?
I was going to do another run-in by Swag Official 113 with another $4.99 super chat.
Oh shit!
Drop just super kicking. Hey, everybody,
just kicking our thing over here. He goes, if you don't go running back, wide receiver first round, you go D-line or O-line, which is kind of what EJ was just talking about. For example, who do you pick out of Mike Green or Membo? If they're both there at 12, I think that's how you say his Membo. Membo was the dude that had that really good draft, that offensive lineman. Yeah, the combine. Sorry, not the draft. He will have a good draft after that combine.
Yeah,
he's a quick. He's a big boy, but he's fast.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Mike Green because I've heard that he has some domestic violence stuff that's come up.
Shit.
That have taken him, with like teams are taking him with a grain of salt on like where do we place him on our board now. And I can't confirm this stuff. This is just kind of whispers and what I'm hearing. But he was the sack leader in all of college last year. I think he had 18 or 17 or something like that. So he's a dog. He killed it at the Senior Bowl. He's a guy that I would like at 12, but I just don't feel like he's the right pick there. I would have rather wait, and I would rather, see what we have in Nealon and Sam Williams coming back, and you got Micah. It just seems like a reach of a pick compared to so many other needs. O-line, you absolutely could. I personally, I feel like they really like what these young guys brought, whether it be Bass, whether it be Hoffman. You saw he got that tender on him, and I think that with Zach Martin retiring, he's going to step in as your right guard, and we'll see how the dominoes fall if Tyler Guyton's going to be your left tackle. But I don't see them taking an offensive tackle early on in this draft or even a guard.
Okay.
No, and I mean,
good question though.
I don't know that there's so many linemen that just by chance out of the amount of picks they have, they might take a lineman. I don't think that they're going to be looking to take an offensive lineman. I could be wrong, but right now I think the plan is. They say Schottenheimer says they'll play the best 5, and I think that's kind of hinging on is BB a better right guard or center, and is Hoffman, and what's Hoffman better out of those two positions? What's the best combination of where those guys play? And then we've got our offensive line. And Steele just kind of slips through the fucking cracks again.
The one guy that we should be talking about replacing just never gets talked about replacing somehow. It makes zero sense. But guys, we've been talking a lot of draft. We're going to get into the mock draft, but there's Cowboys news that has been relevant and been happening at a pretty rapid rate this week. There's been some restructuring. There's been a couple re-signings, but it looks like we're kicking it off with Jerry Jones saying he's not looking at free agency to fill the voids.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys had a chance to listen to this. It's not too long, but I don't want us to sit and listen to the whole 12 minutes of it, which is kind of, look, get some better microphones, guys. I mean, there's so much background noise. Come on.
Feedback.
But just like people talking and stacking chairs, it sounds like in the background. But I got 3 parts that stood out to me, and so I want to share them with you. And some of them he's like,
but bottom line is,
I was going to do that. Some of them he's reiterating the same question from before, and so anyways, here we go. This is
105.3 The Fan.
105.3 The Fan, and the, I guess, mini press conference, little huddle that Jerry Jones had.
what we're wanting to do with the back.
This is going to be difficult. Sorry, guys.
Interior.
Don't know how to use this frickin' thing. Almost there. There we go.
We'll look and see the opportunity to improve on the plan that basically both defense and offense is to complement what we're wanting to do with a Dak-led team.
The plan, does that include being more aggressive?
I don't think aggressive is the right word. I think when we see a part that a player that can take us in a direction that can improve where we're going to be pretty significantly from where we're going to be if that opportunity doesn't there, whether it be the talent of that individual player or whether it be addressing any perceived places we need help. I wouldn't call us really void in any area, void if you include what we're going to do in the draft. I wouldn't say
I need you to
just
tell me what happened.
Addressing free agency.
Okay, hang on.
This feels like purgatory to me, man.
It sounds a lot. It sounds, dude. It sounds a lot worse in these headphones than it did.
I was dying. I was dying there.
No, don't. I'm sorry, but I did.
I'm breathing. I'm breathing.
Jerry, what will your approach in free agency?
Okay. Well, you know what? It's too bad because he actually said some good things. I'll tell you what he said, and I apologize to everyone listening to that. So basically, one of the big things he said is he was asked about free agency, and he goes on, that kind of long, airy rant that we just heard. He's saying, I don't think aggressive is the right word. And I'll give you my context and shoot it to the room. The way it was presented to me was Jerry's not going to be aggressive. To me, it was a semantics thing. Jerry's just saying, I don't think aggressive is the right word, and then goes on to do a big, long, Jerry Jones type spiel of you've got to look at everyone, and we are looking at everyone, but you got to make the right moves when it makes sense, and blah, frickin' blah. So nothing new there. I thought it was a little blown out of the water myself, but is it a concern? Would you rather have Jerry said, yeah, we're going in there, we're gonna
go all in?
Go all in. I mean, yeah, last year was all in. This year is, I don't think we're going to be that aggressive. Aggressive's the wrong word. And selectively aggressive.
And maybe we see them actually do something in free agency. It's going to be like the opposite, right? Last year he said all in, diddly fuck. This year he's going to say, well, we're not going to be aggressive, and maybe they go out there and they get a couple guys.
I have this beer right here. I've had this for 8 years.
Wow.
Dear Lord.
I'm going to drink this when we win the Super Bowl.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm tired of waiting. Okay, Jerry, I don't care what the hell you say. Just get this shit done.
Yes.
Sign the guys that you know can make a difference on your team. If it's a little bit of an overpay, who cares? That's holding up the Lombardi at the end of the year is the epitome of success. So when you continually don't make the playoffs or
Playoffs.
are one and done in the playoffs, we don't care as fans.
Yeah.
That makes us less intrigued every single year, less excited every single year. How many years has it been since we've even been to a Super Bowl? Like, this is getting ridiculous. Figure out what you need to do. I hope to God it's a bluff and he is going to go sign some guys because it was terrible having to see the Eagles hold up the Lombardi, having to see Jalen Hurts win a Super Bowl. And he's a likable guy. I'm not trying to be mean to him, but it's just like,
it's on the wrong team.
When is it like our time? It's like this team who has done nothing in the past. They're the only team in the NFC East that hadn't won a Super Bowl until, what was it, 2017, and now they've won 2 in a matter of how many years. Yeah. So
and been
you
to 3.
Figure it out. Exactly.
Yeah, been to 3. That's a tough one too.
Been to 3 and 1 2.
Like that should motivate you.
I think
get shit done.
I think there is some of that too that I'm starting to take away a little bit, and it might have been a change. This is the interesting thing, but I wonder if he's just not trying to give away any cards, which it's free agency, and so you don't want to say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go after this guy," and then maybe they squeeze an extra $1 million out of the old man, But it's just to me, it's a nothing. It's a semantics thing. They're going to go in there and I feel better.
Well, they're freeing up money for something.
Yeah,
they're freeing up. There's restructuring guys here. They're restructuring CeeDee Lamb. They're restructuring Dak Prescott. They're signing a couple guys. Like, they are gearing up. I'll say this: they're doing a hell of a lot better this offseason so far than at this time last offseason. Like, they didn't seem like they were in a rush to do fucking anything last offseason.
Yeah, I'll say this: if you're restructuring to sign your own, that shit wasn't good enough last year. Why would it be good enough this year? So hopefully you're restructuring to get some new faces in the building, change some stuff around, have new philosophies, new schemes, new players, all of those things that can get you to the Super Bowl. But you have a chip that only a few teams in the NFL have, which is not having that state income tax for your players that play in Texas. Only other state that's like that is Florida. So you have the ability to do that, where to have a bargaining chip in your pocket, say like, listen, you're going to get more of your money if you come here, but you guys never play in free agency, so it doesn't matter. So change some stuff up, get us some players in here that can make a difference.
And the next set of questions were to do with Micah, and Micah apparently saying that he wanted to get a deal done. Of course he does. Jerry went on it was a pretty actually insightful rant. You sometimes get these little gems from him where he was saying, look, yeah, I don't like to really look at it as a like, would you like to sign Micah early? He goes, I don't look at it as a like. Went on his philosophical or
Jerry speak
of explaining things. What I took away from it was he was saying like, that's the cards in the players' hands. And he wasn't putting the blame. He was just saying that's what the players get to use as leverage against us, basically, is, hey, you want me to get out on the field in time. You want me to do this, then. And that's the players' leverage that they will use against the owner. So he's like, I don't have a like. I want to get the deal done. And I respect that from his perspective. But obviously, he did also admit, like, yeah, I want to get the guys out there because missing time, that's a negative. But he did say that, like, that is the advantage that the players have is holding out as long as they can before they sign, because it can help them get a little bit more of those shekels.
Some of that money.
And on the odd thing that he also mentioned was this has been a 2-year plan in the making, which makes you wonder, was
what the fuck was last year?
Well,
part of the
lots of questions.
All in. We're going all in on our 2-year plan.
Well, I don't know. It brings an interesting conversation about power structure, and did Schottenheimer just tip things in favor of maybe Steven and Jerry don't have the same thing, and I'm just using those two guys because they're the heads. But on that conversation, Jerry Jones says, we were planning on keeping Osa all along. So It's not a great 2-year plan to do nothing in the first year and then also that you can sign Osa the year after.
Our plan was to make sure that we had Osa Odighizuwa at $20 million a year.
I do like that. I do like that they got Osa back though. I feel a lot better, and that does relieve a little bit of pressure.
Defensive tackles that have been good for you.
Yeah,
that you found.
That's why I was fully expecting them to somehow fumble that away and him go somewhere else. But
the thing with
shout out to Sam Leaf, friend of the podcast,
friend of the pod, and we'll have to get him back on.
Osa's agent. Good work, Sammy boy.
The thing with Micah though, like now with Max Crosby signing that deal, there is that little bit of a floor. Like, so is Micah gonna get $36 million as Jenkins Gaming saying, or is he gonna get $40 million?
Hopefully 30.
Hopefully 30. You think he's going to go 30?
Well, he was the one spouting off saying he would take less if they were willing to sign people. So you can't go off saying that kind of shit and then not do it.
Yeah.
Like it's
one thing. Do it. I personally don't believe that Micah's the type of player to sit out and say that they're going to not play in the season. I just think that he loves football too much, especially dealing with the injury last year and not getting to play the full season. I don't think that he would want to do that. Which allows the bargaining stuff to go smoother. However, you have to understand a lot of players are not in the meetings of their contract until the very end when they're about to sign it. So their agent is looking out for not only the player's best interest, but their best interest, because a couple million, more onto the contract gets tens of thousands of dollars on, to them in their pockets. So it's one of those things they got to figure out what his market is. I believe he's one of the top 3 rushers in the league. But, only time will tell. I think that 36 is in the realm of possibility. Absolutely. I don't see the comment anymore, but whoever said that, 36 is definitely in the realm of possibility in Jenkins Gaming. Thank you. 36. Max Crosby got, what was it, 35?
Yeah, getting 34 to 35 million a year is what Ray Oid is saying in the chat.
Yeah, so and I mean Max has been great for them, but Max only plays that single position on edge, whereas Micah, he's a chess piece. He can be moved around. He can hold up in coverage. We haven't seen a lot of, with that, but Matt Eberflus coming in here, dictating the defense, trying to figure out what the best possible way to utilize Micah is. I'm excited to see that. And I think that Micah knows very well that if he is utilized in the way that he is capable of being utilized, he can earn even more money and have that big season, the 17-sack season, with some pass defenses playing some linebacker, with some more tackles added on there, tackles
maybe
for
an
loss,
interception,
etc. Exactly, maybe get an interception. Yes, exactly. I think that he would be. It would be good for him to bet on himself because he's shown no signs of being any less than a 12-sack guy per season. So when you're that as a baseline and you still have room to grow and continue to get better, why not bet on yourself? It worked great for Dak. I feel like he's going to take the same kind of path for himself.
Does Osa line up next to Micah all the time, or is it just dependent on how they weigh the field out? Like
dependent upon, because Micah can even rush from that A gap. Where
actually a lot of Micah
sacks,
of the Micah sacks are from that kind of spot on third down in the middle.
Exactly. So
he gets quite a bit. So it depends down in distance.
So they are playing Osa's an interior DT, right? Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But Micah still hops over there sometimes.
Yeah, Micah.
Hey, what's up, boys?
Micah would a couple years ago when we still had Fowler Jr. and you had Dorrance Armstrong and stuff. You'd see Micah line up on guaranteed passing downs quite a bit. Even last year, quite a bit in the interior of the defense.
Yeah.
Well, we got a shit ton of free agents, guys. So I just want to bring up this list again for a reminder.
Oh, that first one up there is fucking gone.
He's gone. He's a retired void. He's voided.
He's voided.
Voided out.
But a quick little scan here for everyone. I think some of the names obviously are DeMarcus Lawrence. What are they going to do with him? Brandon Cooks. Brian Anger, do you bring him back? What about Kendricks, Jordan Lewis? And then Dowdle, of course. And Nick Vigil is also had a little bit of a nice showing near the end of the season when he had to step in. AO is on there, and finally Israel Mukuamu and Marquise Bell and Turpin. Of course, Turpin is restricted, as well as who's the other restricted free agent? Marquise
and Hoffman.
Yeah, but didn't they bring back
They
Thomas?
brought all of those guys
yeah,
back.
they brought them all back. Yeah, Thomas and
Thomas
Wheat and
and
Hoffman.
Wheat,
They brought back.
Yeah, all these guys with the Cowboys. But Bell and Turpin are both restricted free agents, so as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about Bell, but I know that Turpin, they put on that second round tender. So if anybody else signs him, they owe the Cowboys their second round pick.
Which AJ and I were talking about today. It's like that. Hey, someone takes that. I would take another second round.
And then you just throw fucking what's his face in there,
Deuce Vaughn.
and hope he can do
something.
Get a second.
Here's what I do.
Get a second round pick, and then get the fastest CB or wide receiver on the board in one of your fifth round.
The Cowboys did just sign the wide receivers coach for the Ducks, and they have another guy, Tez Johnson, that second round territory.
Look,
you could use it there.
He did run a very slow 40 though.
Tez,
yeah, but he's so much faster on film, man.
Right?
I tell you, like
he's one of those guys,
deceptively fast, and he's a guy that plays with tempo within his routes. So he's not going 100% every time he's setting up the DBs, and that's one of the things that I personally like to see in wide receivers, not always going 100% and setting things up and really digging into their routes and on the top of their breaks and
playing
whatnot.
Some chess. Playing a little
EJ,
chess.
are the Ducks are your team, right? Are the Ducks your team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I think
Ducks fly together.
I think we might actually go to a Ducks game this upcoming year.
We're not allowed to go. Sorry, guys, I wasn't going to say this on air, but
in Eugene,
I don't know if old Aunt Tony over here is going to be traveling down to the States anytime soon.
No?
Okay.
Well, I mean, I wasn't doing it anyways, just purely based on the dollar. But
well, you got an arrest warrant or something that you can't leave Canada?
No, I did, but we have a president of a country trying to do some pretty fucked up shit to Canada. So
hey, yeah, I mean,
solidarity.
Don't make it political here.
No, not making it political, but definitely. And I was just down there actually last weekend, and the 30% extra does.
It's just
on everything isn't great.
Yeah.
Technically, you don't have to think about it unless you look at your credit card statement, so it doesn't really matter.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Come on.
That is true.
Yeah, right?
So if they don't sign, if no one takes Turpin, then they have to pay him that value of like $5 million or something like that, right?
Yep.
Is that crack him if you got him?
It would crack him if you
Is
got him.
that
It's
what
like
it is?
five and change.
five and a bit.
Yeah.
Is Turpin worth that for you guys?
Because he's a special teams guy, yeah, but you got to get him more involved if he can be in the offense. But here's why I think it'd be such an fucking investment with a UDFA, and then you trade him for a second round pick.
I would take
that's
it.
Like,
I would take it. I would take the second.
That's Warren Buffett level, baby. That's getting in on the ground level.
Some Buffett. Yeah. That's Buffett action right there.
But look, we look at the players we're going to lose. Some of these guys will come back. A lot of these contracts are like $3 million or less contracts, right? So
look at the age of a lot of these guys too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are like late 20s and early 30s.
Yeah,
that's a number. Like a lot of that sticks out to me. Brian Anger's fucking 37.
I personally don't believe that D-Law, Brandon Cooks, Trey Lance, Cooper Rush, Eric Kendricks. I would be surprised if he's back. All of those guys are probably gone. Brian Anger will probably find a deal with the Cowboys to stay. Chuma Adoga is an interesting one to keep an eye on for me. Rico Dowdle as well, because I seriously doubt that they're going to want to rely on two rookies. But if they go and sign a veteran that's on the outs with another team and they want to go with the rookie route and that veteran, completely fine with me. AO, whatever. Trent, he's more tied to Bones, so that's gonna be an interesting one. Carl Lawson, I would personally bring back. I thought he played pretty well towards the end of the season. Plus, he also doesn't make edge as much of a need going into the draft. Frees you up on other positions. Israel Mukwamu, he's kind of that versatile weapon on the back end. You can play him at safety, corner, whatever. Marquise Bell, we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, I personally think the Cowboys are going to take like a 5th round quarterback, somebody that they can try to develop. Because the Trey Lance one is going to go down as a horrible trade for me.
Oh yeah.
Because they're not going to retain him, and I would be very surprised if Cooper Rush comes back as well. So.
Yeah, I don't want Trey Lance. I don't want Cooper Rush. I'd rather us draft a quarterback in this draft and have them.
Say who you want.
Jackson Dart.
You can say.
But
your guy.
I will say this.
You can say your guy.
I will say this. I was watching some film on EJ's boy, and even though he's a fucking lefty, Gabriel is someone on my list that I'd be like, hey, I wouldn't be mad if we got him either.
What rounds he projected?
Dylan Gabriel, 3rd round, probably 4th, early 4th.
Yeah, he's weird because a lot of people, and I won't say that this is like deterring people off, but the way that the ball comes off of spinning it is reversed. And so whenever you have like if Dylan Gabriel goes to the Dolphins, then Tua's left-handed too. So it's not like your wide receivers are having to deal with the adjustment to that.
Right.
But when you have a righty as your starting quarterback, and then they go, to the lefty or whatever, your guy's missing times. It is a learning curve on how the velocity comes in and that difference of catching the ball and stuff like that. So, but at the end of the day, if he drops down and he's sitting there in the 6th round, you absolutely take him.
Yeah.
Like he's a gamer. He's a guy that's seen a lot of college ball as well.
Multiple teams too, right? Like he wasn't just on the Ducks. He played on 3 different teams.
Oklahoma as well. Wow. And so
fucking
at the end of the day,
that
guy. I personally thought Bo Nix was better, and he balled out for Denver last year. I don't see quite as much of a gamer mentality out of Dylan, but he's a guy that you probably would take 4th, 5th round if you got the right team and right system in place. But he feels like one of those guys is probably going to be a career backup, not going to be a guy that's going to be a difference maker. Personally,
you guys get to pick. You guys get to pick one person off this list. Who are you taking if you have one that you could sign tomorrow?
Ooh.
Ignoring
re-sign
for the value.
Ignoring really like we're just gonna for the sake of the drill here. We're gonna just.
I'm gonna go with Carl Lawson.
Ooh, okay, EJ.
Okay.
Talk dirty to me, EJ.
30 years old, played 36% of the snaps. That's actually a pretty significant amount.
And he played well.
He was good, man.
Yeah, he played well
down the stretch.
I'm taking J-Lu.
Oh, nice one. Good one. That's a good call.
J-Lu's a good one.
Jordan Lewis, that's a nice pick, Adam.
And 79% of the snaps he had. We were quick to fucking rip J-Lu apart when he fucks up, but we're also quick to say sorry
because got that dog in him.
He has that dog in him. I think he did turn up for the second half of the season last year. So yeah, I'd go J-Lu and I think it sounds like he's probably going to be the one that's going to get re-signed.
That'd be nice. He's gonna make bank.
Jerry's only signing one more.
That's it. That's it. Done.
Then the pocketbook goes away.
I'm fucking done and tired.
And I have 2. So
I'm going Dowdle. Like if Osa hadn't been signed, it would have been Osa. But with Dowdle still on the board, if it makes sense, I would love to pair, one of those 1st or 2nd round running backs with Dowdle. I think a running game would be quite nice going into the season.
Absolutely. Funny enough, Dowdle only played 54% of the snaps. That doesn't
so
seem
ridiculous.
Right, but,
they didn't even know that they could use him until the end of the year.
That's right. True.
Like.
That's Ezekiel right there. He's a good player still.
He's our guy.
Well, Zeke.
He just needs more snaps.
Needs more snaps. Yeah.
Get him some snaps in there.
I think for me, it would be Nick Vigil. I just remember him standing out for us. The low contract, the linebacker position, or the low amount, the linebacker position. He's definitely getting a little long in the tooth, but maybe he's got a little bit of that fight left in him. And I just said
Vigil?
Vigil, yeah. I just like to see him come back and see if he can Nick Vigil here.
See if he can get 15% play time instead of that 11% right there.
He started to play
towards
more
the end.
At the end, and especially when I think the last 2 weeks.
They're gonna Nick, Get the fuck in. You're the only guy we got.
I guess him or AO. Him or AO. You pick. You guys can pick. Vigil or AO. Yeah.
I'd take Vigil.
I'm pretty confident that Vigil was tied to Mike Zimmer.
Okay.
So I'd be very surprised if he is brought back.
Yeah,
Not that he's not good. He's like a core special teamer. He's solid. Like if I had another pick of obviously I would have went with J. Lou, but ads already got him. So Chuma Doga, honest to God, because if your plan with Guyton goes sour, I would feel good about putting Chuma Doga in there because we've seen him at that left tackle position. He's not great, but you can survive with him out there. And I don't want to throw out somebody that's not good. Now, this all hinges upon what you have in Asim Richards. If Richards is good and you feel like you can put him out there, forget about Chuma. But
none of us said DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, I love D-Law, but he's just.
I think Lawrence
would be a very team-friendly deal.
Lawrence is basically looking for a 1 or 2 year contract to pay him a couple mil. I think he's got a foot out the door, and all the power to him. He's going to be 34.
Yeah. He's going to do what another DeMarcus did. He's going to go to the Broncos and win a Super Bowl.
Fuck.
Mark my words.
Yeah.
Crack me if you got him.
Okay, so we got all these guys in mind. Now I'm going to bring over just the 2025 free agent list for all of the NFL. And I have no plan here except to talk about what free agents do we want to look at. What position is everyone say one position that you think the Cowboys absolutely should go after someone in that position. I got running backs right now, but I think that says auto.
Wide receiver.
Okay.
I mean, which we kind of already talked about.
We already kind of talked about, but we do know there's a long list of right now they're free agents. Some of these guys might get re-signed to their team.
I didn't know Stephon Diggs was that old too. I didn't know he was pushing 32.
Mm-hmm.
32.
I say old. That's old in football years. Like you guys are 40. I'm pushing 40, but 32 on a football field is old.
Any of these free agents that stick out to you that you would take on the wide receiver, boys?
No.
As a free agent pickup, I honestly have always liked Christian Kirk. He's had boiling moments of number one potential due to the fact that he was one of the only quality receivers on the squad. And he's a bit of a journeyman, right? Who did he play for first before he went to Jacksonville? It doesn't really matter, but
the Cardinals, I believe.
I
right?
want to say I want to say Arizona.
Cardinals, I think he went from being the third wide receiver, and then when he went to Jacksonville, he was supposed to be the number one receiver. I don't believe he ever came to fruition, but he's 28 years old. I just like to see what he could do in a number 2 spot, right? With CeeDee Lamb. But of course,
I don't. Jacksonville's probably not going to re-sign him because they got my guy out of Penn State. I'm forgetting his name from a couple of years ago who played some good ball. But yeah, he's one of those guys that can be a speedster, can route you up a little bit. But I don't know how well he works with CeeDee. That's my only qualm about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and again, it was just purely I just have watched his kind of career. It's like one of those guys that.
You always held in your heart. You like him.
Yeah, and I have no reason to like. I didn't know him until he was drafted, but it was just like I remember his rookie year and being like, "Oh, this guy might have some pizzazz." And then I think he had like a couple good things to keep him on my mind, but he's never really boiled over. The other guy actually. What about a Hopkins pickup? He's free agent.
Can we scroll down? I'd like to see some of the guys.
Wasn't great
Let's
with Mahomes. My guys that I would stare at right there. It depends on Chris Godwin's leg. But he was killing it last year before the injury. He would be somebody I was very interested in. Plus, you get the discount because he's coming off the injury, possibly. Tyler Lockett, a guy that would easily fill into that Brandon Cooks role, can run all the same routes. And
Too old.
Probably a better route runner, in my opinion, and just getting open and not taking big hits. So you don't have to worry about him getting injured as much because he's just really good at getting along the sidelines and getting out and not taking big hits.
You don't need to worry about him getting sepsis or something in his leg mid-season and then just being
exactly.
gone forever.
I got no knee. I got some knee surgery.
I got some knee.
DJ Chark is a guy that they had in the building last year and they were interested in. So it will be
that's what Star Truk and
Star Trek. Yep.
Yeah.
So
DJ Chark.
yeah, he would be interesting. Elijah Moore had a few good games with the Browns last year. I'd be interested on a cheaper contract for him.
I
Nick
officially don't know any of
Westbrook-Akine,
these names.
he's a touchdown machine. Not really a guy that's going to get a whole lot of catches. Rondell Moore, guy that you could see, especially if you lose Turpin, he's a guy you could fill into that special teams role as well, and he could be pretty decent. Those are the guys that stick out to me. I probably wouldn't go with the heavy hitters. Now, if Devontae Adams was cool, not playing with Aaron Rodgers, and he would take a 2-year deal for 28 or whatever over the 2 years, and so 14 per, something like that. I don't know if he would take that, but that would be good, and you wouldn't have to worry about the wide receiver because he can still absolutely kill it.
This is what we have to replace, I believe, in free agency if the plan is to try to go out there, and this would be the minimum. If we're going to go out there and draft a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds, whatever, you pick your round. If a guy falls to us or we have to reach in the 3rd, pick your scenario. But we're trying to replace basically a Brandon Cooks as a minimum number 2. So either you sign Cooks or we need to sign someone better than them. This is what Brandon Cooks did with the Dallas Cowboys, okay?
Was Cooks the number 2 last year, though?
On gray paper, area, maybe? But on paper, I think yes. On paper, I think yes.
On paper, yeah. But I personally don't think he was that
I don't
caliber.
think there was a 2 on the team last year.
I'm not saying
exactly.
I'm not saying he was, and this is when I totally agree. There was no number 2. But this is what Brandon Cooks did in 2 years with the Cowboys. He had 80 receptions, 916 yards, and 11 touchdowns. So that's what needs to be replaced. Divide that in half, and that's what we need out of these guys a year. So I'm saying if I love the Cowboys to go out there and get a guy, I don't know, is a Tyler Boyd just a repeat of what Brandon Cooks it was
Tyler
when we
Boyd's
first signed?
Not very good anymore.
No, but that the name to me, and that's what I'm kind of shy about, right? Is when we got Brandon Cooks, I was like, oh man, he's still got some of the tank. Sure, he's gone to a couple of teams, but he's always had I think before he came to Dallas, I think he had 1,000-yard seasons almost in every.
Yeah, for 5 different teams or something.
Yeah,
crazy.
so it's like, oh, he's gonna do that for us. Is that what a Tyler Boyd is, right? Like,
are you thinking Boyd or Lockett, AJ?
Man,
I think you're thinking Tyler Lockett.
I would rather one of the guys like EJ said, these younger dudes, Elijah Moore or Rondell Moore, brothers.
Yeah,
are they
Elijah
brothers?
Moore is a sneaky one that I
Tutu Atwell?
definitely see. Tutu Atwell's so small though. I don't think they want another small guy if they have Turpin.
True.
Okay, so we got another run in here. Chat's blowing up the feed right now, and then Swag Official says, "Fuck it, I'll give a super chat again, just so these motherfuckers will actually bring up my comment."
Hell yeah!
Chargers just released Bosa.
Oh wow, Joey Bosa.
Joey Bosa
Wow.
released.
Crazy.
So let's see I wonder if this is updated there. What would it take to get a Joey Bosa on the team?
Well, I guess he would be a free agent. What is his defensive end, eh?
Yeah, he should be under
Joey Juszak?
Joey Juszak.
No, I don't think
Joey
it's that.
Bosa.
The thing with Bosa is he's very injury prone, and so you got to take that with a grain of salt. He's good when he's on the field, though. It's just the Cowboys haven't really taken a shot on a guy like that in quite some time. So,
Would you take him at all? Probably not. If he's injury
I would, at the right price, absolutely, I would take him because he's a guy that can set the edge in the run game and play the run pretty well. Plus, gives you that pass rush, and he's another guy you have to focus on. You can't always double team Micah, and Marshawn Nealon's not at that state. Sam Williams isn't at that state.
DeMarcus
Carl Lawson, sure, if you re-signed him, he'd be good, but he's not drawing doubles over Micah. So you got to take that into consideration. DeMarcus Lawrence, DeMarcus Lawrence was very, very good in the run defense, but even when he did beat his tackle to get to the quarterback, how many times did we actually see him secure a sack? He usually just whiffed on the sack and pushed the quarterback wide. You know what I mean? So we've got to get a guy that can wrap up once they beat their guy as well. And Bosa's that, but how long does he stay healthy throughout the season?
We all know where he's going. The Commanders are going to sign him.
Yeah. Well,
the Cowboys aren't getting him.
Just call me Tay says watch him go to San Francisco to be with Nick.
That'd be Yeah, maybe.
The Bosa Bros.
Smash Bros.
Smash Bosas.
R2J2 says Bosa will get re-signed to a different deal. Cutting him makes more sense than restructured deal with the cap savings. So they're saying he's saying that he's probably just going to get signed from the Chargers again.
Guys, I'm going to pull up linebackers because I feel like this scenario is going to happen to us. Kendricks ain't back, so we're stuck with the guys.
So you're thinking interior though. Then you're thinking interior.
Yes, yeah,
linebacker?
because Osa, where's
inside
he playing?
linebacker?
Where's Osa playing?
When you defensive tackle?
No, fuck me, Omarian. No, wait.
Overshown?
Who knows? Demarvian Overshown.
Are you fucking
Demarvian
dumb?
Overshown.
Are you fucking dumb?
Are you, as Billy Bob Thornton said in Bad Santa, are you fucking with me, kid?
Are you fucking with me, kid?
There you go. Dre Greenlaw is probably the one that
Nate Dogg would say the same.
He brings some fire to you. He brings that dog mentality. I didn't get to watch a lot of the 49ers whenever he got back. I don't know if he was good, but prior to the injury, he was very good. He was flying around. He's sideline to sideline. He's a guy that wraps up, tackles good. Now he's not a cerebral linebacker where he's diagnosing a lot of stuff. I think that they left that up to they're all pro there, and he kind of followed suit. But he's a guy that I would be very interested in at the right price. Bobby Wagner had a decent season for Washington last year. I don't love him, but at least if the running back gets to that level of the field, he's going to make the tackle.
His balls are just too old.
Yeah, Isaiah Simmons is a guy that can absolutely he can rush the passer. He has some versatility. He can drop back and play coverage. He's not always where he needs to be though. A guy that's still growing. Kaiser White, I would be very interested in because he is aware in coverage. He can get you interceptions from that linebacker position, wraps up tackles well. He's just not going to be downhill and getting you those tackles for losses. Let's see who else right here.
What I think the Cowboys need to get though if they can find a pair of dudes for like 10 or 12 million. Split it between the two of them, however you want. A cerebral dude, maybe it's an older Bobby Wagner type, the guy who's gonna like call things out, and then like a Dre Greenlaw, fucking. I don't want to be mean, but the meathead dude, who's just tell me where to go, and I'm gonna fucking hit the guy.
I'm gonna be that pop.
That would be nice because linebacker I think is super. It's weaker than it was last year.
Oh, last year's was way. And it wasn't strong. Last year's. I mean, you had Frankie Luvu, and then there was the other cat. I can't remember his name. He plays for
Zach Bond was out there.
Yeah, Bond, and then there was the guy for Carolina who ended up getting.
Oh gosh, Khalil Shakir or whatever.
Yeah, Shakir. Yeah, those three dudes were all out there. Cowboys had a chance at getting one of them, and none of them really got signed for anything crazy. But definitely, I agree. This free agent linebacker.
Well, and Zach Bond just signed for a bigger deal right now with the Eagles.
He played great.
Yeah,
yeah.
That probably is true. I think the Cowboys linebackers who they have, without Kendricks. Not saying that Kendricks is like.
What about Leafau, baby?
I like what they did, but it's like okay, but we still need depth. DeMarvion Overshown is coming off that injury.
They will sign a veteran, 100%. With Matt Eberflus being in there, they're going to sign a veteran guy that can man that middle linebacker position and get their guys in the right spot.
Yeah,
I don't want any of these young, full of whatever pussy ass linebackers. I need
these young hard dicks. I need a soft dick. Whoa,
I need
an old soft dick.
I need an old soft dick who needs to show up here.
He's not really a linebacker, more of an edge rusher, but K'Lavon Chaisson played pretty well down the stretch last year.
Didn't even hear our dick jokes.
Sorry, EJ just passes over those dick jokes.
I passed over it, man. I'm sorry.
He's just gotten too used to it. Yeah, K'Lavon Chaisson. So I like the youthness because if you sign them let's say whatever for a 3-year deal, and they have a great one season, then you can extend that and kick a little more, get them for a little cheaper by giving them a little bit more money, but you spread it out.
I mean,
he's a guy though that I don't know how how heavily you guys followed that draft, but that was pinned like dog ear for the Cowboys whenever they picked CeeDee Lamb. Caleb Von Chason was.
Really?
He didn't work in Jacksonville, but he had a pretty good end of the season for Oakland last year, and I would be interested in bringing him in for cheap,
Yeah, he's
seeing what you
only on
got
$3
there.
million.
'Cause, yeah, he can rush the passer.
Do you think you would see like Daryl Taylor from Chicago come over with Eberflus or whatever the fuck you say his name is now that he's DC? Like not that there's much familiarity there. I mean, but I'm just saying like
because
he's a Chicago guy.
I'm not very familiar with Taylor.
Guess what?
But yeah, he's a guy that obviously has ties to him. So
Nick Bolton is Jenkins Gaming continues to say in the chat. Nick Bolton, as a pick is who he would pick, linebacker from KC.
Nick Bolton from KC.
Is he out there?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
24 years old.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, Nick Bolton was one of my pet cats coming out of Missouri. What was he 4 years ago? So yeah, he's a monster, a little bit undersized. So I don't know how that fits the new DC's thresholds and stuff like that. But he's a baller. He flies around the field. He's there. He gets interceptions. He gets tackles for loss. He is aware and he trusts what he sees. I think that's an underrated thing, underrated quality of linebackers is trusting what you see and going to making the play. Nick Bolton does that.
You can't look at his contract there though, the price.
I know it's gonna be
that's his rookie deal. So he's gonna get a lot more than the 1.4
don't you
million.
think
I would be surprised if KC doesn't resign.
Yeah, like KC would probably resign him.
And that's the thing. All of these guys
Frogman wants him.
They're still technically on their team, and the team can still work out a deal with them.
Give me cornerbacks.
Cornerbacks, absolutely.
Give me cornerbacks because I have a hard time wanting to select a corner whenever I'm doing mock drafts, even though I do know it is a need for the Cowboys. So I just want to see if there's any stopgap players here. Well, Gilmore's out there. I mean, could we run it back even though he's old as balls?
I wouldn't,
Gilly. I wouldn't hate it, but at the same time, I would rather get a guy 2 years younger who's in the same caliber of.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like, unless he's gonna come and play
Tre'Davious
for
White.
It's Tre'Davious White's decent.
Keep going down a little bit. You know who I would be interested in, honest to God?
J-Lou.
You re-sign J. Lou for your guy. You're probably without Diggs for a little bit.
Yeah.
I would be interested in Jeff Okudah. I know that he hadn't played well in the NFL thus far, but he's a guy that is highly touted out of Ohio State. He was drafted very, very early by the Lions, and he just hasn't worked out. But the Cowboys have had some recent success pulling guys from other teams that didn't work out, bringing them over here and playing pretty well and playing themselves into a better contract. So Jeff Okudah is a guy who's still young. He still has ball within him, and he'd be very interesting for me. Byron Murphy's another guy who's underrated. He's not going to be that shut down kind of a guy, but he'll be a super solid number 2 beside Bland out there on the outside, and he'd be a guy that I would look towards, but it depends on the Diggs thing.
I'd love to take someone named Jeff so that we could use the soundbite from 22 Jump Street. My name is Jeff.
Yeah. The awesome thing here too is both of those guys, Byron Murphy and
I want Jeff.
and Jeff Okudah.
Let's get Jeff Okudah for sure.
My name is
I'm Jeff.
Yeah.
But they're both around the 8.5 milli mark, and that's probably what they would be getting.
Again?
Maybe 9.5.
Honest to God, Jeff Okudah probably is going to get less than that because you got to factor in that was his 5th year.
Right.
And he was drafted very, very high in the draft. He hasn't worked out very well.
So probably the same thing with Byron Murphy.
Yeah, well, no, Byron Murphy, he's played very well whenever he was with the Cardinals. Now Minnesota, he played pretty well last year. I think that's about where he'll get, probably even a little bit more. But Jeff Okudah is the guy that if you want to bank on somebody that could potentially hit for you and be that stopgap guy while Diggs is getting healthy, I like that name.
Javarius Ward would also be another interesting one too from San Fran.
He's going to still get a lot of money.
He'll get a lot of money.
Yeah,
and you think he'll get re-signed from San Fran? You think?
Possibly, but he'll get that cash still.
He'll get that cash.
And the Cowboys have quite a bit of money locked into cornerback.
in chat, they're saying Jenkins Gaming brings up both the Eagle corners were cut, and then R2J2 says you mean Slay and Reddick. Darius Slay, what about? Would you pick up a Darius Slay since he's been released from the Eagles?
I would, personally.
How much would you pay? How much would you pay? Like, how much do you think he's gonna go for? $25?
Go down on him really quick. Try to find him.
I wonder if it's updated. You'd think it would be.
You think it would be?
But
Bradbury is garbage.
Yeah, Bradbury. We don't want Bradbury, but Slay should be right around the top.
Is he a safety or is he cornerback?
Cornerback.
Okay, yeah, he's not on the list.
Slay,
I did check.
Big play Slay.
From what I know about Slay, is he's in good relations with Micah, and I believe personally that he's one of those guys that carries chips on his shoulder. So knowing the Eagles released him after that Super Bowl, he would be perfectly fine coming to the Cowboys and playing against them twice a year.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And he's got a look to me that if I was a girl, it'd flood my basement. Let me just tell you.
He's got, dude, his wife's pretty smoking.
Flood my basement. That's a new term I've never heard before.
I just think he's a fucking
Flood
stud.
my face.
I think he's a fucking stud. And you know what? I wasn't really excited about him just because of his age, but you add on the fact of that he's played with the enemy, and if we can get any little bit of fucking information, plus just having his leadership and mentorship and his handsome, probably very well-defined body in the locker room.
Easy, you're flooding your basement.
Hey, whoa,
over there.
what's going on?
Hey, all he ever says is on a tush push. He's like, it's gonna be a tush push. that's the only insight that he gives.
Yeah.
he's like, oh, the tush push is coming up. It's like, dude,
We can
it's
tell
more-
from the alignment. Slay. Come on.
But he walks up to the coach, waits like for 1 second before the
He's
snap.
outside the
Tush
numbers.
push, tush push.
Tush push.
Or the play happens like, oh yeah, I could have told you that was going to be that play there for a second.
Coach, they're tush
Those guys do
pushing.
that all the time.
Yeah, his nickname on the Cowboys turns into call the play Slay.
Call the play.
Call the play Slay.
R2J2 says they're both washed. He goes, Slay has lost a step and had to play off 10 to 15 yards. The big play Eagles defense let up were to Slay's side last season. And Jenkins the Gaming says, LOL, Slay just got an Eagles tattoo last year. It would be so funny if he was on the Cowboys.
Hey, at least he can pass it off as, well, no, I won a Super Bowl with them. Though,
Super Bowl tat. Okay.
The thing with Slay though for me is it's like if he is that guy that can play the first 10 games while Diggs gets back or whatever, who knows what's going to happen with Trayvon. I feel so much better about him than any of the other guys behind.
Sure.
You know, the Cowboys have had a revolving chair ever since Bland or Diggs went down on the outside. So you feel a lot better about Slay than any of those guys that are behind.
Yeah, we'll have to freaking have extra wipes over here when AJ's basement gets flooded every
Hey, only if he takes his helmet off. And the other thing, though, too, is I am always concerned about the age, but I'm kind of still stuck in that year 2000 mentality. Like 34, of course, it's old. I get it. But
I was about to say a bad joke. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm glad we passed.
I was gonna, I'll say it.
Say it.
Instead of screech shots, he would have the skeet shots.
Skeet shots.
Slay me, Darius. No,
right,
but
go ahead.
so he's 34
Enough
years
gay
old.
jokes. Come on.
He's 34 years old. But if he's conditioned and been in the NFL, like you see with quarterbacks, it used to be like when they hit 34, not too long ago, that they'd be like, oh man, he's going to retire soon. Now it's 38, 49, 39, 40. So I think that's with all players. Like it's going to be baby steps, but I'm not so concerned that he's 34 if he's still got the signs that he can play.
What was his PFF? What was his grading last year?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, search up Darius Slay PFF and then Andrew Booth PFF, and we'll see.
Then Andrew Booth Wilkes.
Andrew Wilkes.
Wiki biography. Oh shit! Hang on, I got this.
Oh, I got that right here. Look,
this one's better though.
Okay.
So there's our grade, and who was the other one?
Coverage 68. Andrew Booth.
68.9 is not terrible.
You're caring more
Especially
about
as
the
a
coverage.
Especially as a stopgap, like 68.9 is not awful. It's not great, but it's not awful.
Well, this is EJ's bringing up Andrew Wilkes-Booth just to make a point here.
Wilkes-Booth. Yeah, he played on the Cowboys. So
we know.
Junior.
Oh, hey.
Trust us. We
know.
Yeah, there he is.
Okay, there you go. So which would you rather have, the 68.9 or the 28.7?
Well, he was great run defense for a
Shut
cornerback.
Up, AJ, Look at AJ 12, literally just said,
no.
What you're looking at here is the coverage.
I mean, the 12 solo tackles is pretty nice.
No, 100% Darius Slay. Yes, absolutely. And
oh gosh,
guys, is it that time?
It's that time. Let's fucking get into it, kid.
Let's get into it, baby. Let's get into it, baby. Cowboys Can fans, 4th version mock draft on this main event. We have a special guest here with us, EJ Savage, aka Will McClay. We're bringing you in for this 7-round Cowboys mock draft. What are we going to do for the sliders, guys? Are we doing anything different? Anything crazy?
I think I liked what we did last time. Honestly, I've tested the PFF left and right. It's hard to tell if there's a difference because there's the randomness. There's not a big difference. So, but the other ones, I think these ones affect it much more. So I'm fine with whatever you guys want to do. I like to play. I like to play with my team here. And EJ, you are playing the role.
I say personally turn up the care for positional value a little bit more.
Okay, last time I think we went one notch up. Do we want to?
Yeah, let's do 2. Let's go in middle.
Yeah, middle it.
It's a little less than middle was the second notch, but that's
fine.
That's good. Yep. EJ, you are playing the role of Jerry Jones.
Yeah, you get final say, EJ. We're here to try to sway you the way that we want to go, but you get final say on each player.
You're still our Will McClay though, because we're looking to you for advice. But in this situation, you have the gavel.
You get the Jerry Jones stamp of approval for us to do it.
You're holding the conch.
Swag.
I'm calling the player first.
Yeah,
you're a Cowboy.
Welcome to the team.
How does it feel? Do you think you got what it takes to not make the Super Bowl for another 29 years?
Huh? Can you handle that?
Can you get it down your throat? Swag official with yet another super chat.
Shit.
Mock draft. Let's go.
Appreciate the super chat.
Swag official. He skipped out on the strip club tonight, and he's giving it to us.
Hell yeah! And you know
Throwing them ones. We only take ones.
Tuned in specifically to watch us mock draft live.
Sweet.
We appreciate. And so what we've done here for our mock draft 4.0 7-rounder with the Dallas Cowboys, we moved our care for position value up 2 notches. Other than that, and the public versus PFF board we always throw in the middle. Other than that, kept it as is. EJ Savage is playing a dual role of Will McClay and Jerry Jones. I'd hate to see what that would look like if they mixed that DNA.
Do an AI version of that?
Terrifying.
Oh my god!
I do want to ask before
you have to pull up Grok now and just ask.
Just ask.
I do want to ask EJ before we jump into this, where he's leaning toward, like what he's leaning towards in the first 3 rounds, or especially the first round.
If my guy's there for the wide receivers, Ted McMillan's there at 12. I'm heavily leaning wide receiver.
Yep.
I feel like Genty's the only one worth the 12th pick, but if we can drop back, pick Hampton up. Like I said earlier, he has a first round grade for me. He's very, very good. He's a pass catcher. He's a bully. He's a guy that has that contact balance, has that ability to get the tough yardage, but also has some speed to him. He can break some big runs as well. I like this defensive tackle class. Other than Mason Graham, I don't know that I would pick one at 12. I'd probably, deject that to the later rounds. Safety is a non-need for me. Depends on what cornerback drops. Will Johnson a little bit nicked up. But yeah, wide receiver, running back are the 2 guys or 2 positions I'm really eyeing first round. But if the offensive lineman drops and he's there and he's good, we could see that as well.
Like Will Campbell, are you talking about?
Will Campbell, yeah, one of those guys. Kid out of Ohio State, depending on what his injury stuff is, and we don't know that, but if we were to draft him, that's a possibility as well. And then the kid out of Missouri that was brought up earlier, if we're kind of wiped out and we can't drop back, he's definitely there for the taking as well. We got to consider him.
Luther Burden, the 3rd? Is that who you're talking about?
No, not Burden.
Oh, the Membu. Okay.
Okay, so we have our 7-round live mock draft here. Number 4, Cowboys Can fan. We got our special guest, EJ Savage from Boys in the Zone.
He's playing everything I said.
Yeah, he's playing our Will McClay. We're ready to kick it off. We're ready to start the draft. Doing it for the clips. Fuck you, Anth. Let's go, baby.
He's doing it for the gram.
Just want to make sure that we get our slow roll. Because,
we don't want to fucking turbo it like we did that last time and fuck up our whole draft.
Yeah, I like to see how the first 11 picks go.
Okay, Abdul Carter.
Here we go.
Cam Ward. Travis Hunter. Okay. Genty
to the Browns.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's Trent Richardson.
Okay, pause.
I'm sorry, I have to pause.
Wow.
That's crazy.
This is due to position need value. We moved it up.
That's insane.
We moved it up, and they need a running back. That's why they took it. Okay, this is fun. This is fun. This could be how things go.
That's crazy. Trent Richardson 2.0 right there. But I mean,
I'm glad that Genty's off the board because we didn't want to.
I hope it's not. I hope he's not Trent. Oh, there's Membu gone at 4.
Wow.
Mason Graham at 5 to the Jags.
Okay. That's more.
Cam Ward. The Raiders luck the fuck out and get Cam Ward. There's your boy Tet McMillan gone to the Jets. Will Campbell, the tackle that you also talked about.
Carolina.
Today, Barron, cornerback out of Texas.
Barron's very nice.
Tyler Warren. Damn.
I wouldn't have took Tyler Warren.
Oh, and Mike Green.
Mike Green. So, AJ, you talked about a lot of these. Okay, here we go. What do we got?
James Pierce Jr. is a guy that I really like. But, man, he would be more of a trade back candidate for me.
6'5", 243.
Man, he's got a very, very quick first step, knows how to bend around the edge. He's a guy that can play the run game decently, needs to get a little bit better wrapping up, tackling in the open field, but a guy that is going to be a solid pro 2-3 years down the line, in my opinion.
Great combine.
Needs to get a little bit more weight to him, but that's really my only knock on him.
And you know what? The thing that everyone can do is put weight on. So if I see a player, I will always add it for this type of a position. They could probably put on 10 pounds easy, and then 15 or 20 is like, okay, you're eating a lot and you're working out twice as much as you used to. With lighter guys, it's like 5 to 10 pounds, right? So
let's look at the trades, man.
Let's look at the trades.
Let's see some trades because there's and there's that 18 we were talking about with the Seahawks.
I don't mind.
Should we try the DK?
Yeah, we should try the DK.
Try the DK.
That's fun. Okay. DK
so what we're trying to get DK Metcalf and the 18th and 12th. Okay. That's pretty fair.
They're going to take it, guys.
I say just try that.
Yeah,
straight up.
Let's just go for it. I like this.
We got it.
Hey, there we go. We solved wide receiver.
Hey,
and you know what?
DK Metcalf,
fell into our laps, boys.
DK Metcalf, welcome to the team.
Now here's the thing.
DK, now you're a Cowboy.
This is a realistic pick. We probably could have got more picks from them, but I don't think that would have happened. So I like that.
61%. That's a pretty fair, for us to click it right off the bat. It's like, wow, that's pretty legit for both sides there.
It was probably a fair trade. So we're now waiting till we've got our wide receiver guys.
Yeah, that changes things a lot.
Okay, so now we're at the 18th.
And we didn't give up any other picks.
They picked out a guy that we would never take anyways.
Yeah.
Jahad Campbell, a guy that I wanted. James Pierce gone to the Colts,
which is
Burden to the Falcons.
The Colts picked up my guy out of UCLA last year. So
who was that?
Liatu Latu.
Okay, crack him if you got him.
All right. Well, now I feel like we're already celebrating. Do we just go evoke?
Crack me if you got him. I mean, we could have DK Metcalf, Ibuka, or go ahead, EJ.
Simmons is a guy that I believe can stick out at tackle. It's up to the injury and what teams are hearing from him. Kelvin Banks Jr. is a guy that I believe can kick inside and play some really good guard at the next level.
Reports say that Simmons will be ready to go for week 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least that's what chat was saying earlier.
Though. He's so good. But that's my thing. If you feel good about Guyton,
which no one does.
My thing is, oh yeah, exactly. This depends on the coaches. If you feel good about Guyton, you go with Banks and you just kick him inside and you really build up your trenches. If you don't feel good about Guyton, you go Josh Simmons and you build those the outside, and maybe you kick Guyton to the right side again, and then you start building up that way. Now, Emeka Egbuka, really, really solid. I think that he has just a very high floor. I don't know how high his ceiling is. I think that he's just going to be a super solid pro. Kind of reminds me of the Jackson Smith and Jigba, obviously from the same school. Derek Carman, defensive tackle out of Oregon. I truthfully believe he's very, very good. I'd be interested. 18's a little bit high for me, but they have him ranked at 22. I'd probably pick him like 26 or so. I haven't done my complete stack. Darius Alexander is a guy I have not watched. However, I know that he had a very, very good all-star game, and I know that he was killing it for Toledo this season. So
I like Darius Alexander for DI. I don't know too much about Harmon, but they look like they're close enough ranked. So you pick your
well, let me just go. Let me go at EJ here a little bit. So you were saying with Calvin Banks, you'd kick him to guard, right? But for me right now, guard, you've brought back Hoffman. You have Tyler Smith, who's an outstanding guard. You have TJ Bass backing both of them up. I just find taking a guard right now isn't as need worthy as
tackle.
A tackle. But if you're happy with Guyton in this, we need to kind of in this exercise. If you're happy with Guyton, then you don't take a tackle to make him a guard.
And this also comes back, like, how do you want to float out Trayvon Diggs as trade bait? Then you might take Will Johnson.
That's where I was going to lean to you. Or you take Will Johnson, you don't trade Trayvon, and you can walk.
Can you scroll down a little bit?
You can walk away from Trayvon Diggs.
AJ had a comment to make.
I will scroll down. I just want to say, because I love everything that's going on. I would also say, let's get the tackle and then kick. If Guyton is maybe he's going to play better on the right side than Steele. If not, then we've got at least 3 tackles you can play with on top of awesome Richards. Yep. Like you mentioned, we don't know. That's the question.
Yeah. Training camp will answer a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
Right. Will Johnson, I like for this reason. If he comes in and he's a stud, then you have CeeDee, Will Johnson, and Deron Bland. You can then next year look to trade CeeDee because
Trayvon.
Thank you so much, Trayvon. Look. It's not a racial thing. I don't think they're the same person. Okay. No. Yes.
I had to get my draft cap on right here. Sorry, guys.
No problem. Yeah. So Will Johnson, I think, just on a BPA level, obviously Malachi Starks is ahead there, but I think that gives you the cornerback that you want of the future for the Cowboys, but also, okay, if we end up with 3 starters, then we can trade the oldest one, which would be Diggs. But that being said, let's scroll down. We're getting we're getting a little too far away from our pick here.
Well, what about trading back? That R2J2 since you got a wide receiver, you might want to consider.
There's quite a few players I still like on the board, and we've got to think about the running back. We've got to think about picking up possibly an extra 4th round that we don't have. And no player stands out like, oh my goodness, this is the guy I have to get right here. I'm willing to trade back. What are my scouts thinking right now?
So
I like the idea of trading back.
You can trade back. We have, I know you can't see it on this list because of the way that this stupid fucking thing goes. Los Angeles Rams are the next pick that are wanting to trade with us at 26. And my caution is if you try to trade with someone else and they don't want to trade with you, you give up
more than you want.
You give up the house. So we have the Rams at 26, the Eagles at 32, and the Bears at 39. So for my money, too far back. But guess what, EJ? You're you're Jerry.
So I know in our 3.5 draft, we took Omarian Hampton. This is my worry is if we do trade back, we are going to miss out on Hampton. And we've all talked about, EJ, you said you have a 1st-round grade on him. Is 18 too high to go? I just keep feeling like Omarian Hampton is the Gibbs.
I don't think that's the sweet spot for Hampton for me.
He's the Gibbs of this draft, right? Yeah. This is exact same thing that happened with Jahmyr Gibbs leading up to his draft. Everyone was taking him at the end of the 1st, early 2nd. You see him go to Detroit at 12. I think Hampton's going to be similar. I don't even think he's going to make it to 18 possibly. So he's my guy. If I had to pick any of the guys that were on the board right now, I'd be taking Omarian Hampton.
Where do they have can you just go to the running backs and see where they have Johnson at?
Johnson.
Oh, he's right here, bro.
He's sitting right here.
Caleb at 65.
Wow. They have him under Cam and Quinshawn and
he
Dylan.
had a bad combine. Well, not bad, but just not. He didn't have.
He didn't stand out like Quinshawn did actually.
So this is updated. This is updated since the combine.
You can see Quinshawn is actually moved up almost 10 spots.
Scadaboo's moved back.
Quinshawn was one of those guys. He's similar to Luther Burden to me. Very, very good 2023 tape. 2024 left underwhelmed a little bit. It just felt like from Ole Miss, he had a different gear. He was just more physical. He had that extra. It almost like he had like a little jetpack on his back whenever he was playing for Ole Miss. Then he gets to Ohio State. I don't see those big runs. I think that and it was a different running scheme too. So you got to factor that in. But I didn't see the same player. So I'm not very high on Judkins. Cam Scadabo. Or Scadaboo, however you want to say it, I'm not very high on as well. I think that he's one of those guys that has like a 3-year shelf life, and then he's probably done.
Neckbeard Scadaboo. AJ was just saying like even Judkins and Henderson swapped completely because they were both Travion was actually a lot higher than Judkins in our previous draft. So it's nice that we see a little bit of shakeup. This is like an all new draft.
Well, Judkins, because the combine, he's 221 and he ran quite fast. Like he had really nice measurables at the combine.
He's that power back.
Yeah, he's that power back.
This is my thoughts before we throw
I have one chat thought.
Yeah, Omarian. Hampton's my pick.
I say this. I'm totally fine with Hampton. If we pass on Hampton, I think we got a lot of options for our second round pick that we can do. I like the tackle.
Simmons.
I like Simmons or
Simmons
Will Johnson. I'm not even upset with Malachi Starks, but so either one of these.
With Will Johnson, he has that injury too. So I don't know.
I don't know these things, EJ. For fuck's sake,
you, EJ. Jesus.
So I don't know that he's even going to be. I mean, it probably looks like he will be ready week 1. But he does have an injury as well. So
I'll say my guy Simmons.
Your guy Simmons, Ant's guy's Hampton. EJ's floating a little bit. I was going to say Swag Official saying trade with Buffalo. Buffalo, they have 2 seconds. I just wanted to bring that out there because Swag Official's gone.
We got to go with
super chats.
Okay.
We'll
try that.
I mean, you could see. I mean, he hasn't super chatted this one. This is just a freebie that we're giving him, obviously, because we show some love here on Cowboys Can Fan.
You want to go back to the second and trade our 18th?
Well, they have 2 seconds.
No, we got to drop completely out and just for the seconds. But
no, they're not even interested at all.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like the 30, take off the 30. You'd have to go 56, 62.
They're not interested at all.
Yeah, fuck it.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's if they don't want to trade, if they're not trading, it's really hard.
If you told me that we were going to get a DK Metcalf and Omarian Hampton coming out of this trade, I'd be very happy with it. Okay. I'd be very happy.
Well,
let's
go to our Will McClay and our Will Jones or Jerry McClay. You decide.
Yeah, there you go, Jerry McClay.
Jerry McClay, I like that better.
Scroll down a little bit more. I want to see. So Walter Nolan's there, Matthew Golden, Omarion Hampton, Jalen Walker, Zabel, Connor Lee is another guy that I personally like, but I'm a Ducks fan, but I wouldn't take him that high. I personally think that the trade back is the best, so we can, because you're talking about a team that didn't win, came into 3rd place in our division. You know, we didn't even get to the playoffs, whole new coaching staff. We need some rookies in here, and we can't always bet on, having these vets come in here and we're going to steal their whole entire draft, AJ. Hey, hell with it. Let's do it. 40%, 49. Does that say 49?
Yeah, they'll trade it. That's the thing. And it's just, I want to just be half realistic.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah.
But I think this would, I think this
try to see if we can get 26 and 90.
Guys, can I just preach here again a little bit? We bitched as Cowboys fans always having these 25th picks and 26 picks and all this stuff. And we finally get a chance to get a 12th pick. And we trade to 18, and now we're trading to 26. It always was, we make the playoffs, and then
got DK Metcalf.
I know we got DK Metcalf, but it's always like, oh man, we didn't. The shitty thing is we made the playoffs and we lost, and then we got stuck with the 26th pick. So it's like this year we don't make the playoffs, and then we still trade back to the 26th pick. Like, you're gonna get a player at 18 that's gonna be way better than a guy that's at 26, or even better than, like, if you can get one starting player for the next 5 years opposed to two guys that are depth pieces. I don't know.
Steven, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I don't even think the Cowboys should trade out a 12 personally. When I think about it, because even between 12 and 18 is crazy. The only bonus on that is we got DK Metcalf. But
exactly.
I think trading to 26 after we traded 18th is super unrealistic.
Here's the thing. Trade back to 26, and then we trade back up to 21 with the Steelers, and we give them a 4th, but we pick up the 90 from the Rams.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Sure.
Try it. Hey,
I still feel like we can get Hampton that way.
We're having fun. I'm gonna do this just to pick up that
Look,
the 4th.
Jerry already said he's not dealing in free agency, so he has to have the draft night.
He's got to.
We're gonna make this is gonna happen here. So we're trading from the 18th pick to get and our 174th. I'm just putting that on just to make it a little bit more realistic for their 26th, their 90th, and their 127th. Then we're gonna pause it.
Yep.
For the Steelers, which are where are they?
We got to let it roll and then see if our guy goes off the board. If not, then we're just rolling with 26.
Who's our guy?
Hampton, right?
Hampton. All right. Okay.
Hampton's going to go to...
Oh, Steelers. Oh, I see. Okay.
Hampton's going to go to Minnesota. Hampton's going to go to...
either the Chargers or...
It's only 3 picks back. It's only
he's going to go to the
Chargers. The Chargers.
Oh, sorry. I didn't
Kyron
see...
Williams
I didn't
and
see...
Quorum.
Yeah, but I'm just looking at positions of needs.
Rams. Sorry.
But because we're up to positions of need, they'll probably pick Hampton.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get fucking rolling
here.
Let's
do it.
We still haven't even drafted anyone. Let's
we're wheeling and dealing here, bro. Okay,
Calvin Banks gone. Michael Williams gone. The Denver Broncos select
Malachi Starks.
Okay. We're back on the board.
So now we want to move. What did we want to trade?
Just throwing 150 for him.
We got it. I promise you this.
AJ was right.
Okay.
EJ Savage.
Okay. Hey, you know what, EJ?
Hey, we're back exactly where we were.
Brought me back.
Okay. Are we saying
that's the Will side of this?
So what did we?
Kevin Costner drafted.
What did we gain? What did we gain?
So we gained
a 90th.
We gained the 90th.
Okay, 90th. Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
I like.
And
that.
now look at the it's just a much. I mean,
cleaner draft.
And the 127
get some players in here.
I'm making a rule. We get one more trade.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Now we're picking.
Otherwise, we're gonna be here till fucking 9 o'clock.
Will Johnson's staring us in the eyes. I still think we go Hampton because we do have Diggs, but
let's go Hampton.
I like it. Welcome to the team. Hampton? And thank God we're getting out of the first round. Welcome to the team.
You know Jerry would call him Omarian.
You're
a Cowboy.
Oh, yeah. Buka goes next.
Omarian.
And Josh Simmons off. AJ's guy.
Okay. Should I speed this up a little?
Well, let's see just the Will Johnson all the way to 25.
Boom. That means Jeff Okudah isn't going to the Texans again, so we're getting him in free agency, boys.
Matthew Golden.
Excellent.
Jalen Walker to the fucking Lions. That'd be deadly. Walter Nolan all the way at 29th to the Commanders. Colston Loveland, tight end. Darius Alexander. And the last pick goes TJ Sanders, defensive interior. To the Eagles, which they're just loading up again.
Right there, my boy.
Yep.
All right.
Zable's another guy, man. He's underrated.
Nick, I'm not even going to try to say his name. Manowari.
We're down to the last 6 picks here before us. Alec Aomano.
Yep.
Jack Beck, wide receiver, TCU. Princely.
Okay.
AJ, give that one a go.
Uman Allen.
I like it.
When I'm put on the spot, Xavier Watts finally went. Sorry. Xavier Watts and Tyler Booker. And Landon Jackson all finally went for one.
Ravel. Not bad.
Okay, so we have Omarian Hampton. We also picked up
Shadur Sanders. No way.
Oh, wow.
Okay, we're not picking him because, come on now. But that's crazy.
So Demetrius Knight, linebacker, Trey Amos, cornerback, as well as Shaven Revel, cornerback. Sherman Turner, He had a pretty good.
Turner, yep.
Oh, and Alfred Collins, who we've drafted and looked at, he's a good DI. I think DI between Turner and Collins makes good sense just based off of draft value. However, we come down here to the kind of the second rank.
Carson Schweizinger, I would be interested in him. Keep going down a little bit more. Xavier Restrepo, Jack Sawyer, who's not bad value.
There's no one. I mean, the other guy, I guess, is Omar Norman.
Get
Lott.
Wanye Thomas's brother right there.
Zary.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, that's
bloodline
actually his
pick.
brother.
Is that our bloodline pick?
It's a bloodline pick.
Little stretch.
Yeah, a little bit of a stretch of a bloodline, but
my bid is one of these DIs or this
think so?
linebacker. I gotta go. Sorry, guys.
I kind of like Ravel personally. But
Ravel. Well,
yeah.
let me look at Demetrius Knight Jr. just because I want to get a little draft buzz, an optical on him.
Yeah, because we've never.
I have not watched this guy, so I have no
Okay.
idea.
This is good.
You know what? It's nice to just get a little look on his buzz.
He's undersized, 6'2", 235.
Yeah, he's pretty weak.
That's not great size.
not what we're looking for, I don't think.
If you're gonna be that big, I want you to be running a 4.4.
Check out my guy at UCLA, Schweizinger.
Old Schweizy. Carson Schweizinger. Had a great 2024. Played very nicely.
Big and well, you see, he didn't really start at all until 2024.
100 tackles. That's nice. Yeah, he barely played in. You're right. He barely played in 2023.
Okay, hang on a sec. Draft Buzz is just saying nope.
Draft Buzz is buzzing out,
We
bro.
will not let you do it. Let's see him. 4.7.
There he. Oh, I remember looking at this guy. I remember that fucking
flow,
flow.
bro.
Surfer fucking Schweizinger.
6'2", 242. He's 5th ranked. That's making me a little perked up.
Is that flooding your basement?
And then he saw how big his hands were, and he's completely flaccid now.
Yeah.
Ooh, tiny hands.
You know, the biggest thing here, I think, for a guy like this is his 40.
That's slow.
Bench is, I know it's low ranked, but doing 20 on the 225 to me is like a baseline of quality NFL. You're still strong.
Yeah.
You're not like, but how strong do you need to be? And bench is also a rough one to really bring in. He's a box LB, so hey,
I'll tell you this, like, man, he's kind of like cut from that same cloth as an Overshown, undersized a little bit, but he's just flying around the field, man. He knows where to be. He's good at tackling, wrapping up. He'll probably never be that guy that's just like all pro level, but he's going to be very solid for many, many years. And honestly, the Cowboys have been shooting for these guys like the Mozzie Smiths and like the Tyler Guytons, where it's like, oh, they have so much potential, but if they never reach it, what does it matter? You know what I mean? So I almost would take those guys that have the high floors and just build your team, because you need the role players. Like, not everybody has to be an all pro and the superstar,
Sounds like we're taking him.
Let's take
the
Schweizinger. Not Eliza Schweizinger. It's
just
Carla.
one guy. Jenkins Gaming keeps asking about him. Revel would have been a CB1 if he didn't get hurt. He's a good.
Yeah,
he's
Revel's very good, and like I mentioned, he's very,
Revel.
very good. Just from a small school, Eastern Carolina, and
we talked about.
I
CB
personally
needs.
like him. Yeah,
we talked about CB needs.
Okay, I really like that purple tie. That purple tie stands out to me.
And you like the neck?
go down.
The neck.
Show him the measurables for AJ right here.
Oh!
Yeah, buddy.
I like him better than than the slow as molasses linebacker.
Surfer guy.
There you go. Hey, I actually like Revel better.
You did say you said Revel
let's
right
do
off
it.
that was your first initial reaction was Revel.
He's right on our 44.
I was
think
taking a pee at that time, so I
Should
didn't
we
hear it.
revel in it?
Let's revel in
Let's
that.
revel.
Let's revel
Let's
in
go,
that
baby.
rabble.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome
Revel.
to the team. Okay, look.
Siobhan, you're
People-
a cowboy.
You're a cowboy.
It's definitely turning up to be a kind of odd draft,
Trey
bringing that
Amos right
cornerback
after.
in.
Jaden Higgins.
Higgins would have been a guy I would have been interested in if not for DK Metcalf.
So
100%.
So Atlanta Falcons took 2 wide receivers with their first 2 picks.
Because of the position. It's the PFF.
Psychos.
When it goes
Wow.
position.
Sanders to the Seahawks. I thought the Seahawks had a chance to get him at 18, but instead they got him at 50 once they got rid of that pick.
Well,
Jack Sawyer.
We can
Jack
tell.
Sawyer. He's gonna be a good ball player, man. I'm telling you.
AJ, you want to toss me one while we're waiting for these picks?
Yeah, and you can tell when you bump up the position in need, it really fucks up.
Which is good because it gets
It's
us
fun.
to different
It's fun.
players. Gets us different players.
Position
on the
of
board.
need kind of like puts you into players that
Damn. Oh my goodness.
Cam Scattergood
Oh.
of the Lions.
Cam to the Lions, man, and they got Montgomery, Gibbs, and now Cam.
Neckbeard.
Neckbeat.
You know what I would love?
Neckaboo.
I would love that. I
Cam
would,
Neckaboo.
I would love that you could take a mock draft, upload it to your Madden, and then it takes that draft and puts those players
Oh,
on
that
the
would be
team.
sweet.
Ooh,
That
Jordan
would
Birch.
be super fun. Oh, Henderson just went.
So they have the Browns took Genty and Henderson.
Swag.
Hell yeah.
Swag.
I mean that works.
So yeah, that would be crazy.
That would be wild.
That would be
hey,
insane.
we don't have a
Noel
quarterback.
is a guy that I kind of like.
Swag official 13 saying he's doing the same thing right now with his position in need, and he was just able to get Tet just now. So
Nice.
Oh yeah.
That's
look
good.
at that.
Wild how
Hey, listening to a mock draft while he's mocking his
Oh,
own.
we can get Jake Ferguson's brother.
Terrence?
Terrence
No, I'm,
Ferguson.
I'm
I
kidding.
do you know
Wouldn't
what's
that be awesome?
Double
you know,
Fergs?
you know what's funny? EJ made the joke, but when I was mock drafting and I saw Terrence Ferguson, I went and Googled it. I was like, is Terrence
That's
Ferguson?
funny.
He's
Nah,
not.
Double
he's not.
Fergs?
He's not. He's not.
Double Fergies?
He
Chris
ain't.
Paul Jr., linebacker. I don't mind that pick from Ole Miss.
See, this is
I
where
haven't watched him, but I've actually heard some pretty good things about Chris Paul. And like we took the cornerback earlier, so we are in need of a linebacker now.
had a very nice, small, but had a nice 2024.
That's most of the linebackers in this class, it seems like.
Yeah, like 6'1", 235, 6'2", 235.
I think that's just where we're seeing linebackers kind of go. Like, are you kidding me? That's not right.
No, Chris Paul Jr., Ole Miss.
I was gonna say because this guy says he's 6'4" here.
And he also says he plays for the Commanders.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, does he not have a draft buzz? What the hell?
Chris
Nah,
Paul
he's just
Jr.?
already been drafted. It's like a previous one.
No, but I just want like.
Oh, this guy. Oh, yeah. Junior, you mean?
But well, okay, there we go.
There you go.
I don't know. It wasn't coming up. and
Weird.
Everyone saw it.
I'm pretty sure we've looked at him a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the size that I think always gets us. But again, I'm thinking about my old 2000 football mentality where I'm looking for that 6'3", 240, 250 linebacker, and that's not the game that's played anymore.
I mean, 222.
You know,
is
here's the
pretty
thing, though,
small,
AJ. There's a couple years ago that I was on here and I was hammering the table like, let's pick up Ivan Pace Jr. He's so good. And you always told me he's not big enough. And now look at him for the Vikings. He's a monster. So,
But
We
in
got
AJ's
I admit it.
in AJ's defense, 32 NFL teams over 7 rounds also thought
yeah,
that
that's true.
because he was
That's true.
undrafted. So there obviously is a little
Look,
to that.
I don't think
Yeah,
he's.
there is.
We're seeing two different ways.
AJ, I had your back, dog.
No, and I was agreeing with
You idiot.
EJ
We
as
should have
well.
taken Ivan.
Dude, imagine Ivan on this team.
Oh,
Come
he
on.
is a beast, man. He's been very good, and I know J Tuck was pretty high on him, and he's always showing clips of him.
RJ Harvey, he's the guy that I liked at running back, but we already picked our running back.
RJ Harvey is sweet, man. He's a guy that if the Cowboys don't get like one of the top dudes, he could be someone that would be nice to get in around.
We had a Jordan Phillips last year.
Yep.
Might as well pick one up now.
You got Jordan Phillips or even what's his name? Farmer right up above. The DI right there.
For DIs.
Florida State.
Oh, I haven't watched that guy, Joshua Farmer.
Yeah,
Interesting. I actually probably watched him because I watched quite a bit of the Florida State film from last year. Whenever they had Fisk and oh god, what is his name? The Edge.
Verse.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Jared Verse. Yeah, and so I probably did see him, but I haven't watched him any at this year. So
So I will say this though. Right now, what outside of tackles, because tackle is a position of need that we should be looking at. The O line is this the last of the last? Ozzy Trapilio? Are we Are we that far off with any other dogs coming into it?
Jesus.
6'8", 309.
6'8".
6'8".
That's
He
huge.
fucking he didn't even rank on AJ's fucking big body board that he has.
Let's check him
Let's
out.
fucking get eyes
I
on
don't
this
have a
guy.
big body board. I got a skittle board.
He's got a skittle board. Okay.
Okay,
exactly
looks
how
like
I
a
imagined
lineman.
him.
Yeah.
Yep.
6'8", 309. Fucking welcome to the team. Almost runs a
what's his
fucking
arm say?
4'9".
Only
Arm
33.
Arms are 33. That's right at the bottom of.
But for being 6'8", that's weird. He probably looks like he has
Yeah.
T-Rex arms, but being 6'8".
Oh, totally.
Hello.
Wow.
I'm a jujitsu guy.
But like just for the average body, 33
Oh,
is
is big. But for being 6'8" with them?
No, yeah, he's T-Rex. I don't know. Is that good for keeping
tall as
your
fuck.
little?
Hey, possibly.
Keeping your little-
Most teams have that 34-inch
Yeah.
threshold for offensive tackles. So
Yeah, well, because that's why they're saying Will Campbell. Teams are having issues with him
Yep.
right now
push
because
him into guard. Yep.
Hey guys, I'm kind of an Aussie guy.
I'm fine with Ozzy. I'm fine with.
Keep going down a little bit.
I'd
I
take.
just want to see if there's anybody we're missing. Giddens, okay.
Jonah. I'd rather take Jonah than
Jonah.
Where'd you say? Where's Jonah?
Jonah Savi.
Oh.
Savi.
There's our boy Tate Ratledge, and he had a decent combine. Remember? Well, maybe he didn't have a decent combine. His fucking mullet was flying there.
Fucking hair. 6'6", 320. And sorry, the other guy's Jonah.
But that's tackle, and we're gonna have a
Jalen Royals right there, though.
we're gonna have a chance for
Very
the we're gonna have a
wide
chance
receiver.
for these guys with 90.
Right.
We are.
Okay. So maybe tackle's not. Maybe there are a couple boys.
Well, Ratledge
Hey,
is a guard.
How about this?
Go to linebackers really quick.
And then after this, I got a little theory for you.
Well, fucking say it.
Jeffrey Bosa? Just kidding. It's Bassa.
Kobe King.
There's my guy, Jack
Kaiser.
Kaiser.
We can get him a couple rounds from now.
Pair him up with his old teammate too.
He was prior to like the end of the season. He was like ranked 280th on PFF's board.
Okay,
He's climbed up a bit.
hear me out. We go with
Hear me out. Crack if you got him.
We go with a BPA, then we quickly pause, do our final trade to get rid of some of these fucking late round draft picks to move up either from 90 or 127, and then we can pick up a guy who we want.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind one more trade to move up.
This is a Can Fan pick. I'm gonna go take a piss.
Okay.
Can
okay.
Fan. This is the Can Fan pick.
I like Ozzy.
What T-Rex? Fucking.
Six,
He's literally a T-Rex. He's 6'8" with little.
6'8", 309
It ain't
with
happening.
T-Rex arms.
It's not happening in this room.
We need 66.6666666%.
Can you just click on
and I ain't drafting fucking
Click on it one more time.
T-Rex arms.
At this
What,
point,
Ozzy?
no. I was gonna say click on him. I just want to see what he did against good teams.
He didn't play good teams. He played for Boston College.
Yeah, fuck.
Fuck Boston College. Yeah, I don't even know. These are all. Are these all?
Do I make Ozzy a fucking my guy? I don't know. I might have to. I'm just joking. I'm not gonna
You're
do that.
getting a little crazy. You just like the name Ozzy, Adam.
That's
I think
it.
the
Ad
problem.
just sinks his teeth into the funniest guys. I love it.
Yeah, well, that's how it happens sometimes.
This
Ozzy.
is the oddest thing here with Chris Paul Jr. He just had a dog shit game against Florida, but then didn't have a bad game against. Had a great game
LSU.
against LSU.
Decent game against Georgia.
Where's Georgia?
Georgia.
I can't see it.
70.9
The
right
big
there.
G.
7.8 right down there.
Oh my God, the Green Bay
you
Packers.
You
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
I don't know. I would take Chris Paul.
Okay.
High position in need. Don't like Ozzy. Chris Paul fills the linebacker.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
my
going.
vote.
I think Chris Paul.
Okay,
Also.
Chris Paul Jr. Welcome to the team. I'm
Welcome to the
happy
team.
with. I'm happy with Chris Paul.
We're taking him. We're taking him.
We're taking-
now. I'm just gonna pause. What I think we should do is trade. We have a.
We took Chris Paul Jr.
Do we trade or just go
No.
right to the next picks?
I would.
As soon as I left, I heard Anth. He's literally a T-Rex.
We picked Chris Paul Jr. Linebacker, Ole
Okay.
Miss. Welcome to the team.
That's what I would have done. So.
we weren't taking. Ad wanted Ozzy. Ad wanted fucking T-Rex boy, but we stood our ground.
Fuck it. Let's just go to our next pick. We got a bunch of picks. I think. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. For
Okay,
late
juice it up
stuff.
for speed too. Then
we have 3 drafts worth of picks coming up here, boys.
Yeah, for the Cowboys because they trade their picks every year. Yeah. Like hello, Ad.
Hello, I'm not
Oh my
Adam.
God. Oh, sorry.
Today I'm Brian Schottenheimer. Ant's
Tate.
Who the fuck am
Eberflus.
I?
I'm Eberflus.
Ant's Ebel.
Well, who am I?
EJ was calling you Stephen Jones earlier.
If you're Schottenheimer, who am I?
You could be Shoddy.
I'll
be Steven.
I will never be Cap Boy.
I can't be Steven.
I've always been Cap Boy, so I guess I'm Cap Boy.
I'm Eberflus.
Hey, look, Tate Ratledge is still available, guys.
I say take Taylor. I like Tate Ratledge. I like Jonah.
Ratledge.
I personally like the Ratledge pick.
Okay.
He's a true guard. You know, he's a guy that's
buzz.
played solid for Georgia for many years. And he's a guy that, like, let's say like Hoffman, he plays this year or whatever, and you don't feel good about him, you just throw Ratledge in there. And look at that, dude. Country to the core.
Yeah.
He's gonna be good in the trenches. Gonna be a long-time pro. Has the shorter arms, which can be a little bit of an issue in the trenches, but not as much as it is out wide.
Athletic freak, though.
Yeah.
Look at it, the 90th percentile and all the
exactly.
physical.
Get him out on those pulls and just allow your guy Hampton to pop off those big runs.
Tate Ratledge is the Mach Pit of this draft.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Cody Mach of
the
this.
Cody Mach Award goes to Tate Ratledge.
Yeah, for sure. Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team. We're Ratledge boys.
That was a quick pick, boys.
Yeah, that was.
Gotta make it up.
Hey, look, and so while we're going
that
through
might go down as the quickest pick for CanFan mock draft history.
Let's just consider what we got right now. We got Omarian Hampton, halfback, number 1. Shavon Revel, cornerback, number 2. Chris Paul Jr., linebacker, number 3, round 3. And Tate Ratledge, guard, round 3 as well, because we picked up that extra third-round pick, which was really nice from LA. And with that pick, we got wide receiver DJ Metcalf.
DK.
So now, DK Metcalf.
Or
DJ Metcalf.
DJ.
He's moonlighting as a DJ.
Everybody out there getting ready to
Ladies, $2 off at the bar tonight. It's DJ Metcalf.
Get your wet shirts on because we're ready to fuck. No. Hey,
you can't say that anymore.
Shit, sorry.
Okay,
pick 127, Dylan Gabriel.
This is where we got to trade. This is where we should try to.
Kaiser's up there, man.
I do like some Kaiser, but we took Chris Paul.
Martinez, nice running back out of Miami. Keep on going down.
There's your boo too.
Horton is a guy that I would seriously consider here.
Who?
I know he's had the injury problems. Torrey Horton. He's a guy I liked last year. I did some work on him last year.
I'm not opposed to getting another wide receiver, even though we are on the 4th here. I'm not opposed to that.
Is Torrey Horton your Puka Nacua of the few years ago? Because I remember you always talking about Puka Nacua, and I mean we were just kind of like, okay, so
you can see 2023 like how good he was. PFF. He's a guy that's just like he can win in so many different ways. He's fast. He can be a burner, but he's also physical enough. He can run good routes.
What was his injury last year, EJ? Because he didn't play much.
Oh my goodness, I want to say there's some ACL or something like that related. So yeah, he didn't play very much last year, and it was unfortunate because he went back specifically to have that season to catapult him up when he had options to transfer elsewhere and go to a bigger school, but he stayed at Colorado State. So unfortunate for him, but he's so good when he's on the field and healthy. He's just a guy that he can win in so many different ways. And like you see, like his weight's not even really big, but he's physical.
Yeah.
It says outside X receiver. He's physical. He can win that way, but he's also fast.
Well, yeah,
you see the 4.40.
He was in the combine, so his injuries passed him. He ran at the combine, so that's good. I thought
he's good at contested catches. Like he's good. You take a late round flyer on this guy, and he cracks your top 3 wide receivers. You could have somebody.
I don't mind it. I don't mind double dipping. I don't mind double dipping on the wide receivers. AJ's gonna try to get us up into.
No.
Can you try to get us into like a 150 or 140 somewhere?
I'm just looking at
150 right there. Try to see. Didn't we trade that to them?
Trading back.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like these are the guys offering trades. I think we got to make a pick because
then try to trade up.
See if there's any defensive tackles and stuff. I probably haven't watched these later guys defensively.
Simeon Barrow Jr.
Hemingway is a guy that.
Yeah.
But they're late. Those guys are a bunch of later picks that we could grab, right?
Yeah, none of these guys are coming off the
probably.
board right
yeah. Junior Tafuna.
I say let's do Torrey
I'm completely fine with that. I mean, he's one of my pet cats.
Let's get him.
Yeah. I really liked him last year, but he ended up going back to school. So
and just want to say, typically I'd be a little sketchy about skipping on Jack Kaiser just because I like how Ant plays with him in CFB.
But even though he lost the Natty, just saying.
Whoa!
Yeah, but I wasn't Notre Dame. I was in Notre Dame.
Crack me if you got
That's the only thing that's going to stop this brother fight right now.
I had to ice it.
This fucking guy guy's won 2 fucking games in his whole college football career.
Hey,
and he's over here talking.
Still got the one that matters, bro.
Still got a Natty. I'm just saying.
Welcome to the team, Torrey Holt.
Welcome to the team, Horton.
Horton, here's a who.
Horton, here's a who.
Get him some Tim Hortons.
Horton, here's a Dallas Cowboy.
You ready to put that star on your you ready to wear that star? Jack Kaiser! He went to the fucking
San Francisco 49ers.
I hate it. I
hate
it.
Gonna be a monster.
I hate it. I hate it so much. And Quinn Ewers went to San Fran. God. Both
that
comp
would've been an
picks.
interesting one. I actually probably would have selected Quinn if he made it to the 5th.
Yeah. Are we looking? Okay, so we got 170 and 172. Do we look at a quarterback with 170?
Yes.
And then hope that BPA falls to us?
I think so.
Oh, Dylan Gabriel just off.
Gabriel just off. Dang it.
Okay, let's look at quarterbacks, guys.
Man, that would have been a no-brainer for us. We just missed out.
Oh, there he is, Brady Cook.
I'm sexy on Brady Cook.
We could get him probably in 2 more picks.
Kyle McCord is a guy that's seen a lot of football. And those guys have been translating pretty nicely to the NFL recently.
4,700 yards last year.
I would be interested in Kyle McCord.
His stats are fucking.
I still want to see the rest of the players here, but
too bad you can't do it. You said a name and now you got to draft buzz him.
We got to draft buzz him. Oh, God. We've seen this guy before.
Kind of looks like a lineman.
He looks like he showers in his underwear.
He does.
Kyle McCord showers in his underwear.
Okay,
take him off the board then. I don't care. I'm not gonna go.
Well, EJ, that's not
Tyler,
necessarily
okay,
a
go
negative.
to Tyler.
Okay.
He's another guy. He's another guy.
Oh,
So
we know
we-
Tyler. We know Tyler.
Tyler
Shaw.
Yeah.
Tyler Shaw's good. Brady Cook's good. Either of those two in the next pick or two is, I think we're fine. I think I think those two we could actually get on the next pick.
Okay.
Rourke is another guy that
Canadian.
Yep.
Yeah, he was balling out this season for a little while there.
Let's do this. Let's pick our player on 70, and then on 172 we'll pick our quarterback.
Okay. So can you bring up this name, because Swag Official, another $4.99 super chat, says Kyron Lacey got in legal trouble but is a high round talent. Would you draft him in the 6th or the 7th?
Well, we definitely will be checking him out. Let's check him. Kyron Lacey, wide receiver, LSU.
I mean, probably not strictly because he's a wide receiver and we've traded and drafted one.
Three wide receivers.
Got nice size though.
Good size. I don't love his drop. Well, his drop rate's actually low, but he's not really standing out on anything else.
9 touchdowns. He had a lot of yards. That's surprising that he's so far down.
Got in legal trouble.
He's a guy that's like that Keyshawn Butte,
Right.
where he has some legal stuff and some character concern stuff, but he can actually, he can absolutely play. I haven't really watched him. I actually just got acquainted with him because of a guy I know, Steve. Shout out Steve. He told me about this guy, and I was like, I haven't even heard about this kid. So I searched him up and watched some stuff on him. Not a full film breakdown, but the stuff I saw, he's good for sure.
We will draft him in probably another draft when we don't have two wide receivers
and Horton.
DK and Horton. But we'll see. Hey, he's 254. We'll see what we get when we get to 249. Thanks, Swag.
So we're gonna pick a player
Cody
and then go.
Simpson.
We're gonna go quarterback.
Every second of the day. Yeah. Oh, wrong Cody Simpson. Okay, my bad.
I like Seth. I like Seth as a center. I talked about him picking him up and possibly moving BB. He's a straight center, so like you're picking him to possibly move BB over, which it doesn't sound like the Cowboys are wanting to do anyways. So
I
think we already got a guard, didn't we?
Yeah. No, we didn't.
Yeah,
get
we
a
did.
guard.
Ratledge.
Oh, we did. I'm sorry, I lied to you.
Ratledge. So I say let's go down and see if we can find a defensive tackle or
another linebacker.
Who do we want to look at? DTs?
Oh, we didn't even pick up a linebacker.
I'm interested in DTs. I would throw safeties up there. This is kind of that territory I would look at. Safety. I would look at edge.
Yeah, we need
Let's
some
see.
athletic freaks here.
Hey, there we go. Tyrion Ingram Dawkins at your service.
I personally kind of like Tonka.
Yeah,
Plus he's got a sick
I
name. I mean, Tonka truck. Come on, man.
I as well like Tonka. I think Tonka had a really on the
He's just been
WayJ
solid,
Skittle board.
man.
He was up there, 6'3", 288 defensive interior, a little light. I think that's where his negatives came from. Is he's just a little light. But if you're where we're drafting him, I would say you give him like he could probably get 40 pounds on his handsome frame.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a great combine. Very
Yeah.
good measurables.
Tonka.
So I think Tonka might be
Welcome to the team.
but that's at 183.
Hey.
Let's do it. Let's just fucking do it.
I'm fine with Tonka, man.
Let's do it. Bring him on.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team, Tonka.
Tonka! And we're back.
We're back here.
We're back.
Guess
Now
what?
we're going to look at
And?
QBs.
I did like Kyle McCord's stats were pretty unreal, man.
All right, fucking take him. Take the fucking, do a Google image search of Kyle McCord. Let's get
Yeah.
off Draft Buzz.
Let's get a
Give me like a frat party photo of him or something. Okay, kind of looks like Brock Purdy there.
How about this aggressive
Oh,
sexual assault artist?
Okay,
Why is he looking at me like that?
yeah, Kyle McCord. Okay,
you know what?
character issues?
He looks better now. He looks better than his draft buzz pick.
Hey,
he kind of
and these fumbly feet,
Yeah.
these floppy feet.
his footwork.
Looks like he's
Hey.
tripping.
He balled out. He's seen a lot of ball, man. Like
Hey, take him.
Syracuse is not known for their football, and he, brought him up and I think they only had like 3 losses last year, maybe more. I don't know.
4,700 yards, babe.
Look, he
But yeah,
finished.
he was balling out.
He finished strong. Played good against the U, Cal, and who else can you see on this that makes a difference? Syracuse too.
Miami played decent. Miami wasn't
Let's
great
do it.
last year, but
Let's just fucking do
Let's
it.
do it. Kyle McCord, welcome to the fucking
welcome
team.
to the team.
You lineman-looking Brock Purdy motherfucker. Woo!
All right, so these are our picks while we're waiting for our next one here. Hampton HB, Siobhan Revel, cornerback number 2, Chris Paul Jr., linebacker number 3, Tate Ratledge, guard in the our second, third round pick, Torrey Hilton, wide receiver in the 4th, Tonka Hemingway, defensive interior
Tonka.
in the 5th, and then followed up with Kyle McCord in the 5th. And we got
Emory
2.
Jones is there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, we have 2 6th rounds and a 7th.
I wouldn't mind taking a swing here at tackle with like an Emory Jones.
He's a guy that I thought would have already been off the board personally.
Emory,
He's
6'6", 315.
I believe that he was like a pretty high recruit out of high school. Hasn't completely lived up to that. But he's a guy that has all of the tools to be very good. I'm kind of surprised that he's not higher. It doesn't look like he worked out at the combine though.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. I would be down with him. He did have a lackluster 2024, whatever. If you feel like who knows, that could be a mentality thing, whatever. I also like this Jonah Meinheim strictly for his versatility. He's played left tackle, center, right guard, and right tackle in the last 3 years. So either one of those guys, I think,
What's
is the
his size?
choice.
Give me some size.
But you got to see his arm length,
Yeah,
because
let's
if
see
his
some
arm
size
length
on
is
him.
under like 33, he's not a tackle at the next level.
Yeah,
I
so-
don't think any team would put him at tackle.
And
if it's under.
Emery hits our 34. So if
Yeah.
he's got T-Rex arms, he's gone.
I know, especially after you freaking.
Good luck.
Hey,
Fat Jesus.
A plus on the look for Fat Jesus.
He's T-Rex. He's T-Rex.
30. Oh my goodness, yeah, he's not playing tackle, bud.
Okay.
There's no way in hell.
If you would have picked him over Ozzy, would have been a travesty. Emory Jones, welcome to the team,
Yeah,
buddy.
bring him in. Emory
Let's bring on
Jones.
Emery. Now
Emory
we've got
Jones.
two young O linemen.
And as
No,
awesome.
you've
well,
got
you got
to be tough
got
if you have a
3.
girl first name too.
Yes.
So
Totally.
Who's our 3?
Awesome.
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot about awesome. All right,
Because
here
then
we
you
are.
got a 3-way matchup.
Hey.
Awesome, Tyler Guyton,
Ooh,
and
Ollie
Emory
Gordon.
Jones.
Should we? Ollie
I would
Gordon.
double dip with Ollie.
I agree.
I agree with that pick.
I'm down with the double dip with Ollie.
Let's do it, Ollie. Or
there's so much upside with them that there's really no reason not to.
The fact that he's sitting here at 211.
Dude, we just broke our record again. That was the fastest Can Fan pick ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, we're breaking records.
We're breaking
tonight.
records. I'm just speeding.
We're OG3 boys.
All right.
Hell yeah. Okay, guys, what do we do here? Just
Graham Mertz?
Just
maybe we should just get Jalen Walker to sell fans like, hey, we got Jalen Walker.
Hey,
And
right.
he's like, the kid from Georgia?
Yeah.
No way.
Nope. The other
Which guy?
one.
No.
We got
the guy from
Jalen.
Indiana. Yeah.
So Xavier Truss, another tackle.
Big trust.
We're not taking a tackle though. We just took a tackle.
Trenches, brother?
What about Dante Trader?
We just take nothing but tackles.
Just tackles.
Dante Trader, 5'11", 202. Got a very decent run defense grade. He's not a coverage guy, but maybe we just need that strong safety or whatever it is. Decent game against Oregon. Decent game against Penn State. Again, we're talking a 7th round pick here.
Yeah, this is just you're just trying to find.
Let's just find the coolest name we can find.
Okay, yeah. Moliko
Moli-
Mataveo.
Or no, who are we talking about that might be there at 280 or 250? Who did we check?
I haven't gotten this far. I'll be honest.
No,
it was your guy.
No, it was the wide receiver that I brought up from Swag Official wanted us to look at.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Kyron Lacey.
Why the hell not? This episode was sponsored by Swag Official, so if he's
Brew
there.
McCoy. Wow.
He's gone.
Lacey's gone.
Oh, where did he go? I wonder.
Yeah, we got to see where he went.
245.
245. And
Oh, fuck
The
me.
Ravens.
Oh,
That
he
sucks.
just ahead of us.
Just ahead of us.
That's hilarious.
That's insane.
Jenkins Gaming says, is Jalen Smith there? He's a corner.
I will never draft another Jalen Smith.
Johnny
in my life.
Walker.
Nope.
No Jalen Smiths ever again.
Wait, there's Jalen
Let's keep going
Walker.
down really quick.
Yep.
Cypress, I've heard of. I don't think he had a very good all-star game. Continued to go down. Sanders, decent.
What about Mac McWilliams? That's a great name.
Cam Miller, Mac McWilliams.
That can't be a real name.
Mac.
Hey, he had a good 2024.
He's a coverage
What
boy.
up?
5'10", 185.
Mac McWilliams,
Oh.
great name.
You ever hear about that NBA player that was like supposedly from Africa? He's trying to be 8 or like 17 or something like that, and like go into the draft, but he was really like 27. That's
heard
Mac
about those
McWilliams
stories.
right there. He's faking. He made up a fake alias
Yeah.
to get into the draft.
Isn't there
no
a
way in hell.
Isn't there a Drew Barrymore movie based off that?
Yeah, give us
Probably.
give us our deciding factor on Mac McWilliams here. Draft buzz him. Draft buzz as fuck.
All right, we're betting. Is he white, black? What?
He's black. He's black.
Yeah, he has.
I'm
I'm just
Mac.
he's
I'm going based off of cornerback.
He's white. Oh, no, of course.
Oh,
He's a cornerback. You have a
he
95.
actually he looks like he could be a dog.
I mean, his
4'4",
measurables
40,
are
not
just
very good
Terrible.
measurables.
But
Hell no.
he's fast.
Hell no.
Hey man, he's fast though.
What is this? 40?
4'4".
4'4",
Like that's pretty quick in the 7th round.
What's his arm length?
29.
Not even 30 inches.
But what if Turpin's gone and we're just needing someone that can catch that ball and run?
You're not wrong.
He's 4'1".
But
Just saying.
Hey, if Turpin was gone, we'd have a
Guys, this is the
we'd have-
7th round.
Hey,
here.
we'd have a second here if Turpin was gone.
That's
Come on,
true.
let's be honest
That's
here.
true.
Trust, Anth, this is the scouts rounds. This is where like scouts just pick like measurable guys.
Mac
You can't be
McWilliams.
picking that little dude.
Mac McWilliams. What about Nicholas Martin? Give
Teddy?
me give me
Teddy spelled like that is crazy.
Yeah.
Search this guy up.
Guys.
No, that's not Teddy. That's Ted Yay.
Ted Yay.
Ted Yay, Buchanan, California. What up?
Fuck
Yes,
with me!
That's
Fuck
our
with
guy.
me!
Goodness.
That's our guy.
right there.
Fuck with me!
That's our guy.
I'm Ted Yay!
Dude,
That-
look at fucking 26
Ted
on the
Yay.
bench.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's our guy.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
And 6'2", 233. That's the decent size. I think we take.
Yeah.
I think we take Ted
Ted
Yay.
Ted Yay,
Ted Yay.
Ted Yay Buchanan.
Buchanan.
Welcome to the team.
Ted Yay Buchanan.
This has honestly been the most
Oh goodness.
for us, and we appreciate it, EJ, because you've pushed us into realms we
Didn't know existed.
didn't really go to.
Hey.
So let's have a look here.
I'm
Let's
glad.
see how we got rated here.
So we
DJ Metcalf.
Yeah.
this whole top here was ranked a C. So the trades as well as
Which is fucking bullshit.
Hampton.
Hey,
That's
I'm
okay.
fine with that.
We can't let PFF guide us.
You remember what PFF rated that Lions draft?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, PFF.
So Siobhan Revel, C+. We got Chris Paul Jr. with a B- in the 3rd round, 76 pick. Round 390, Tate Ratledge with a C+ as well. Torrey Horton, B+. Tatanka.
C-, baby.
Tonka.
Anyway,
C-.
Tonka.
Kyle McCord with the B+. They didn't like his allegations either. But hey,
Finishing that we're fucking ending the draft nicely,
ending draft with Emory Jones Jr. an A, OG2 with an A, and then Tedye Buchanan with a C+. I'm going to give this draft a B.
Hey, you know what?
It.
I'm not. This is a fun draft because we did a lot of different things, and the thing that they are not calculating.
We got DK Metcalf.
Is DK Metcalf coming onto the team?
If you and Omarian with CeeDee,
CeeDee, that would be.
We got our corner that we also he can play some inside as well if he needs to, and who knows when Diggs is going to get back. We've got Chris Paul Jr. who also fills that need with Overshown being out for the foreseeable future as well.
See what we got.
Ratledge kicks in there if Hoffman isn't working out or whatever. Horton, super solid option as your wide receiver 3, 4. Depends, Tonka, he's going to give you that depth in the interior, spelling Osa and whatnot. Kyle gets you the backup where you don't have to carry Cooper or Trey. Emory Jones, developmental tackle / guard. And then Ollie Gordon gives you that power back who's a big bruiser back.
High ceiling
type
of guy.
Exactly. High ceiling. Had a great 2023. 2024 kind of fell off, but that was a lot to do with, the blocking in front of him and whatnot. So you pair him with Omarian. You got 2 brick house backs.
Is there any realm that Ollie Gordon actually makes it to round 6?
I don't think so.
His measurables are just too good. He's a fucking beast.
It seems like he has some character concerns as well.
I did see that. Or read that. Yes.
So who knows? Some teams take that stuff so serious where will take a player completely off their board. Other teams, it's like, okay, this is the round where we will feel comfortable picking a guy like this.
Ollie Gordon's going to go to the fucking Eagles, I bet. Like, I could just see him going to the fucking Eagles.
And EJ, before we wrap, throughout this draft, we're building a kind of my guy Mount Rushmore. So we've each taken a dude. Adam has taken Golden to be in his first round and Dart to be in his second. I've taken Higgins, wide receiver, and Williams, the wide receiver, both in my second round slots. And Anth took Hampton in his first round slot. You can pick whoever you want.
And Isaiah Bond.
But you get one player.
And who did Big Chris
I took Isaiah Bond also.
We'll figure that out.
Oh, yeah, Anth took Bond.
And Bond.
I get one player from the players that we drafted.
No.
Anybody.
Anyone that we didn't just say. And the big
it's
fella,
your guy.
The big fella took the Michigan defensive tackle, not Mason Graham, but the other dude,
Grant.
Yeah, Kenneth Grant. So you just can't pick any of the guys that were named. It doesn't matter what round. It's just you're trying to pick a guy that's most likely to get drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, and then we're not allowed to put him on our board. And these will all be put onto our CanFan big board going into the draft.
I was gonna say the Texas corner, but you said most likely to be picked by the Cowboys.
Yes.
So, this is I really do like Horton, but another guy that I personally really liked was Jalen Royals, the wide receiver out of Utah State. Whenever I watched him, I feel like if the Cowboys miss out first, second round, he's sitting there in the third round. He's a guy that I would be very interested in. He has the ability to kind of be used in that DK role where he is really good if you can get the ball in his hands after the catch. I personally think he can play some X. A lot of the people that I talk to think that he's more kind of pitching on to that Z and slot, but I think he can play if he gains that more weight and play strength. I think he can play on the X, and he's probably my pet cat for like third round.
So pick 76.
Hampton would absolutely be one of my guys that I would stand on the table for if in a trade back scenario. I mentioned Pierce Jr. I really like. Mike Green I really like, but where's my phone at? There's somebody I'm missing. I can't remember. Let me pull up my notes really quick.
Yeah, and Royals is a guy who often, well, I don't know about how the draft is going to be shaken up now after the combine, but previous to the combine, Royals was always sitting there as a dude. We never took him strictly because I don't think we liked his draft buzz. We didn't know anything about him.
Yeah.
Well, EJ, you can if you think about it, you can always tell us who your other guy would be.
No. Yeah, but we need one guy from you right now. Is it Jalen Royals at pick?
Yeah, put
76?
Jalen Royals up there. I really do like Tez Johnson, but I'm going to stick with Jalen Royals. I feel like that's a good stamp to put on there.
Okay,
Jalen Royals.
We drafted him before, so
all right, I'm going to have to make something of this sheet and get so we don't lose it here.
I think we just make well, we'll talk about it off air. EJ Savage, we appreciate you coming on. Where can people find you, my guy?
Yeah, Boys in the Zone. That's the letter N, not I-N. On YouTube, on Twitter. Those are the main two I stick to. I also do a show with Grid Network's very own Mike Guido, where we talk about draft, we talk about the prospects and analyzing those guys. We did have film rolling, but YouTube squashed that. So screw YouTube. But anyways, yeah, you can find me on those platforms. My Twitter, I'm pretty active with all news Cowboys. As far as getting on lives and stuff like that, I talk about draft profiles, but I do have a Cowboys centric show as well. So
yeah, and I'm gonna have to check out your and Guido's show because I
was watching it, the last one you guys did.
I missed it.
Yeah, and you had another. I forget the New England Patriots fan there. You guys did some draft stuff last year together. I was watching a bit of that last year.
Tim?
But yeah, Tim. But okay, if you don't follow EJ Savage on any type of social media platform, we got a little something to say. How about you go fuck yourselves? Wow. We'll be back Sunday for the Sunday service. We don't know at what time, but 12 p.m. PST.
In your heart.
Clear your whole schedule Sunday. Peace.
Love you, EJ. Love you, EJ.
yep.